Now, the greatest radio shows of all time.
Suspense.
The Shadow Node.
Washington calling David Harding, Counter-Spy.
Classic radio theater.
The Great Gildersleeve. Fibber McGee and Molly.
Dragnet. Gunsmoke.
The Lone Ranger.
Now, step back into a time machine with your host, Wyatt Cox.
Good evening, friends of the Inner Sanctum.
Comedy on this Sunday with an episode of the Stan Freberg Show. Monty Woolley is the Magnificent Montague. Dellie Ellis as Judy in A Date with Judy from 82 years ago. The Abbott and Costello Show from 76 years ago. And another episode in The Adventures of Superman. That's all coming up on this Sunday, 28th day of July, 210th day of the year, 156 days remaining. 14th Amendment to the Constitution ratified on this date in 1868. It established the citizenship of African Americans. Austria-Hungary declared war on Serbia on this date in 1914, precipitating the beginning of World War I. Herbert Hoover ordered Douglas MacArthur to evict the bonus marchers from their camps on this date in 1932. And it was on this date in 1945, on the foggy morning of that Saturday in 1945, Lieutenant Colonel William Smith, piloting a U.S. Army B-25 bomber through New York City, when it crashed into the Empire State Building at 9:45 in the morning, killing 14 people.
Two girls at work in the 73rd floor were Miss Edith Iverson of 857 Fairmount Avenue, St. Paul, Minnesota, and Jean Fagan of 3 East Bank Street, Chicago. They were at work in the Empire State offices of the North Central Broadcasting System. And they are now at the Mutual Newsroom microphone here in New York to tell you in their own words what happened. Now, Miss Fagan, tell us what happened when you first heard the crash.
When we first heard the crash, we sat at our desks and looked at each other. We didn't know whether it was lightning because we've heard so much publicity lately on lightning striking the Empire State Building. But we opened our office door, and in the hall it was so covered with smoke we couldn't see, and the elevator shafts were flaming with smoke.
And tell us, what was your reaction, Miss Iverson?
Well, I, too, thought it was lightning. We found the service stairs finally and began to walk down. There were only 2 other girls on the floor, but many people from other floors. There must have been at least 30 or 40, and they were all walking down, too.
Was there any fire on your floor besides that from the elevators? Miss Fagan.
The windows, we looked out the windows before we went out the door, and it must have been a piece of the wing of the plane, because we could see it falling. In fact, it was so thick you couldn't see anything but this bright orange flame going by the windows.
I see. And how much of a flame would you say in judging it in feet? Or couldn't you judge from your position?
Oh, about 5
we could
feet.
see was just plain flame.
Just
a wild
going
sheet
by,
of flame.
Just going by the window.
Was there any sign of panic in the building among the people you saw?
Well, not until we got to the 66th floor.
And what happened at 66?
Some of the children started to cry and whimper and said they wanted to get out of there. That's about all we found. And otherwise, I think everything was very well conducted.
How about the adults? They were perfectly under control?
Very well so.
The men.
At the time, the men reacted favorably.
Very well. They took control of the situation and handled all the stenographers and office girls and so on and directed them as to what to do and where to go.
A frightening event on this date, Saturday, July 28th, 1945. Another frightening event, well, in 1954, I don't know that you would call it frightening, but the number 1 song in the nation on this date was belonging to the Crew Cuts.
Oh, life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Hello, hello again. Shaboom, and hoping we'll meet again. Oh, life could be a dream if only all my precious plans would come true. If you would let me spend my whole life loving you. Life could be a dream, sweetheart. Now every time I look at you, something is on my mind. If you do what I want you to, baby, We'd be so far. Oh, life could be a dream if I could take you up in paradise up above. If you would tell me I'm the only one that you love, life could be a dream, sweetheart. Shaboom, shaboom. Ya-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, shaboom, shaboom. Ya-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, shaboom, shaboom. Ya-la-la-la-la-la-la-la, shaboom.
The song written and originally performed by the Chords, a black R&B group. Now, at the time, often white artists recorded sanitized cover versions of music originally performed by black artists. In 1965, President Johnson ordered another 50,000 American soldiers into the Vietnam War.
We do not want an expanding struggle with consequences that no one can foresee, nor will we bluster or bully or flaunt our power. But we will not surrender, and we will not retreat.
The call-ups brought the total U.S. force in Vietnam to 125,000 men. In 1984, the 23rd Olympics opened in Los Angeles, minus 14 Eastern Bloc nations who boycotted the Games because of the U.S. boycott of the 1980 Games due to the Soviet invasion of Afghanistan.
Just like 1980, our pulling out and quite a few countries supporting us reduced the 1980 Games to nothing more than a regional competition. It's going to be somewhat the same way. It will not be an Olympics in the true sense of the word.
Olympic spokesman and former Olympian Al Order on this date back in 1984. 2002, 9 Pennsylvania coal miners rescued after 77 hours of being trapped in a mine shaft. And in 2009, the Senate Judiciary Committee approved Sonia Sotomayor to be the first Hispanic justice on the Supreme Court. Among those passing away on this date in history, poet Cyrano de Bergerac, composer Antonio Vivaldi, also composer Johann Sebastian Bach, actress Marie Dressler, actor Sam Edwards, pro wrestler Carl Gotch, and actress and singer Eileen Brennan. Birthdays today include author Beatrix Potter, entertainer Rudy Valley, inventor Earl Tupper, the Tupperware, composer Carmen Dragon, First Lady Jacqueline Kennedy Onassis, and from the Mary Tyler Moore Show and Everybody Loves Raymond, Georgia Engel.
Hi, this is Jeff Foxworthy. It is now time for the birthday announcements. The following people are now officially older than dirt.
And among those born on this date include British singer Cher Lloyd. She is 31 today. From As the World Turns and The Lying Game, Alexandra Shondo is 38. From Full House, involved in the admissions scandal a few years back, Lori Loughlin is 60 years old today. All in the Family actress Sally Struthers is 77. The creator of Garfield, Jim Davis, is 79. And turning 78 today, Jonathan Edwards.
1971. Sunshine go away today. I don't feel much like dancing. Some man's gone, he's tried to run my life. He don't know what he's asking. When he tells me I better get in line, I can't hear what he's saying. When I grow up, I'm gonna make it mine. These ain't dues I've been paying.
Went as high as number 4 back in 1971, Sunshine, Jonathan Edwards, 78 today. That was one of the first records that I ever had to edit. Because they used, and this is in 1971, understand, they used the word damned. And, yeah. But then it's just like when, what's his name? The Paul Simon, Kodachrome. They used the word crap. I had to edit that too. So, it shows how times have changed. Jonathan Edwards, 78 today. Those just a few of the people celebrating the 28th day of July as their birthday. And if this happens to be your birthday,
We baked you a birthday cake.
If you get a tummy ache and you moan and groan and woe, don't forget we told you so.
Happy birthday!
Happy birthday!
Make a wish, dear, and blow out the candles.
Here they go.
And we start off on this Sunday with an episode of the short-run Stan Freberg Show, the last real network comedy show from 67 years ago, July 28, 1957, as Stan has an encounter with a contestant excluded from the Miss Universe pageant.
Civil defense is common sense. This is Boris Karloff. No one can guarantee the survival of every home during a nuclear war, but a strong civil defense can save millions of lives. Make sure that yours is one of them. Learn how to protect your home. Call Civil Defense today.
And I mentioned this before, and I mentioned it again today just because so many of you have been interested. If you search through our posts on our Facebook page, Facebook.com/Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, you will find there we have a link to an old civil defense publication. Or you can go search civildefensemuseum.com and find more information on being safe and shelters that would not only withstand a nuclear disaster, but also tornadoes and other natural disasters. Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, 2 weeks ago, we aired the first episode of the Stan Freberg Show on our podcast, and it was very a controversial thing. The incident at Los Barrosis followed a delightful Tune Sheep chorus. This week, we're going to take on the topic of discrimination and why a woman excluded from the Miss Universe contest. Let's listen.
What do you mean, wait in the parking lot? I demand to be heard.
All right, madam, wait a moment.
Miss Universe contest, indeed. I got a few things I'd like to say about that, Buster.
All right, look, I do not agree with what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it.
So when do I get to say it?
Will you have a seat? Hit it, Billy.
This is the third show of a series of a brand new radio series.
From Hollywood, Greenbinder Swimfins presents the Stan Freberg Show.
With the music of Billy May.
Plus the songs of Peggy Taylor with Doss Butler, June Foray, Peter Leeds, and the Judd Conlon Rhythmaires.
You may not find us on your TV,
because in case you did not know, we're being brought to you on. Brought to you on. Brought to you on R-A-D-I-O.
And here he is, Stan Freberg.
Uh-huh. Gee, actually, I expect a little more of an ovation, a little more of a tribute than that, Fred.
Yeah.
That sounded kind of like a seal.
Well, just a moment, I'll check with the sound man. Hey, Charlie, that a seal? Yeah, it was a seal.
Oh, come on, you folks in the studio audience. Let the people at home know there's somebody here beside one miserable seal. Thank you. That's a little more like it. I just wanted CBS Radio to know that I have many fans among the flippered folk. After all, CBS is investing quite a chunk of money in my show. I mean, when you consider that they could have taken the same money and bought the screen rights to the Santa Monica phone directory, a 300-page paper on the underlying significance of the geophysical year by Jane Mansfield, and a pretty good-sized chicken ranch in Pacoima, why, it makes a man feel pretty humble. Matter of fact, I feel so humble I can hardly walk. Which reminds me, a funny thing happened to me on the way to the show. You folks at home may...
Us folks at home, get a load of that guy.
Oh, Sylvan, I was listening to that.
They should have bought the chicken ranch.
I was trying to listen to that.
And I was trying to read Orphan Annie. Hey, get a load of that mountain lion.
I'd like to get a load of Freberg. Will you turn him on, Sylvan?
Okay.
Guy says alligator. I thought you said bagpipe.
With this, he gets laughs?
Sylvan, you didn't hear the whole joke.
Alligator? I thought you said bagpipe, too.
Gotta remember to try that on the boys.
Turn him back on, Sylvan. We're probably missing something.
All right. Will you relax, Velma? We've only had him off for 11 seconds. Now, what could he do in 11 seconds?
Inside Oklahoma, Oklahoma.
Well, we hope you enjoyed our capsule version of Oklahoma. Drop us a card and let us know if you think it's suffered in the editing.
Come on, snap it up. When you going to get around to me?
All right. Now, madam, what is your problem again?
You had a big contest here, right? Miss Universe.
That is true. However, I'm afraid it's over now.
You're telling me it's over. I spent 2 weeks trying to get in that lousy Long Beach lineup.
And they wouldn't pay you any mind, eh?
No mind at all. You got some manners in what you call your world.
Yes, well, just where are you from? I mean, what manner of...
I am Miss Jupiter. I was chosen out of 10,000 girls on our planet.
Miss Jupiter? Why, that's amazing.
Why? Look, the contest was called Miss Universe, right?
Right.
So how come they wouldn't let me in?
Well, you got a point there.
That's my antenna.
Oh, so it is, yeah. Look, Miss Jupiter, how did you get here?
I flew my saucer down. What do you think?
Yes, I see it there. Why don't you climb all the way out of it?
I have climbed all the way out of it. I parked it outside.
Yes, but those wheels. What about those wheels?
Those wheels, as you so indelicately put it, happen to be my best feature. Some girls got curly antennas. Other girls got cute suction cups. I got shapely wheels.
Yeah, they're pretty shapely at that.
You know it, they're shapely. I seen you eyeing them.
Yeah. Well, they wouldn't let you in the Miss Universe contest, eh? That's a shame.
Discrimination is what it is. If you're going to run a Miss World contest, run a Miss World contest. If you're going to run a Miss Universe contest, shape up. Let's be tolerant of all planets.
Nicely put. But look, Miss Jupiter.
You can call me Zuzu, honey.
All right, look, Zuzu, honey. Perhaps they found out you were married.
Yeah, but I ain't married and I'm over 18. The least I could do was get a couple of modeling jobs like Leona Gage.
Well, I'm just wondering if your height had anything to do with your being ruled out. How tall are you?
2'1". In high wheels. Think that's too tall?
No, I had in mind the other way around.
Well, it's tall by Jupiter standards, buddy. And how about them measurements, huh?
Yeah, how about them measurements? What are they?
39, 39, 39. Look, those markers.
You can count on me. Believe me. Well, look, Zuzu, we'll try and get you a couple modeling jobs.
Oh, get me a cuppa, will you?
Okay, I'll give him a buzz over at Fantasy and Science Fiction.
Oh, gee, I certainly appreciate that.
Well, from week to week in this spot, as you know, we will be bringing you somewhat unusual elements, including the truth about tree toads, a build-it-yourself Great Wall of China kit, and a child psychologist only 4 years old. Tonight, however, we take you through the magic of radio to romantic Laguna Beach, where the Skin Divers Mandolin Club is holding their annual festival. Here we are in Laguna. Can you hold down the surf, please? Thank you. Here we are in Laguna. This is a sight to behold. Just picture it, ladies and gentlemen. On this beautiful white beach are gathered over 1,000 skin divers in their rubber suits that look for all the world like shiny, long, black underwear. This is truly a scene. This is the moment, ladies and gentlemen, we've been waiting for. Just imagine it. On that whistle, 1,000 snorkels were slurped into place. Now the mandolins are held over the heads of the skin divers. Their picks are ready. And now that romantic moment when, with swim fins flapping, 1,000 skin divers, like a black rubber river, strum their way into the surf and quietly slip into the golden sunset of the blue Pacific. Over the surging of the surf, we hear the gentle picking of their mandolins and the hum of 1,000 snorkels. Yes, it's time again for their 2,600-mile swim, for their annual surprise visit to serenade our friends at lovely Waikiki Beach. In the beautiful Hawaiian Islands, where the temperature never changes.
The temperature in Molokai is 78, in Kahulao, 78, in Liliuokalani, 79.
And as the last mandolin strums into the sunset, we say, Arrivederci, frogmen, arrivederci. And good night, Harry Owens, wherever you are. Peggy, come on out here. Peggy Taylor, ladies and gentlemen. Well, how did you like the Skin Divers Mandolin Club, Peggy? You enjoy that?
Fine, Stan. It's fine. Do you know who invented the first diving suit?
No. Do you?
Why, yes. It was Leonard Norcross of Dixville, Maine, and he patented it on June 14th, 1834, patent number 7644W90.
Oh, of course. What's the matter with me forgetting anything like that? Sakes. By the way, where did you get that fascinating bit of information?
Oh, I get around, Stanley. Like me to sing there?
Yeah, I'd like that. Is Judd Conlon going to sing with you?
Yes, he and 5 others.
All that and Billy May, too?
Yes.
Gee, it's spectacular. Sing, dear.
I'm in heaven, and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to find the happiness I see when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Heaven, I'm in heaven, and the cares that hung around me through the week seem to vanish like a gambler's lucky streak when we're out together dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to climb a mountain and to reach the highest peak, but I don't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, I love to go out fishing in a river or a creek, but I don't enjoy it half as much as dancing cheek to cheek. Oh, dance with me, I want my arms about you. The charm about you will carry me through to and my heart beats so that I can hardly speak, and I seem to see happiness I see. When we're out together, dancing cheek to cheek. So let's stay out all night and dance it up. Cheek to cheek. Cheek to cheek.
Being ever faithful to the policy that the Freberg Show goes everything, sees anywhere, and does anyone, we join fieldman Leroy Strattle high in a tree on the banks of justly famous Lake Waccamacotuckapek in northeastern Oregon. Take it away, Leroy Strattle.
Thank you. This is Leroy Strattle here, high in a tree that hangs over the justly famous Lake Waccamacotuckapek in northeastern Oregon. My, we're pretty high up here today, believe you me. And with me is Mrs. Hagmeyer Prill, who you may remember, I'm sure, a sculptress and nature lover.
Well, I'm not here with you. I was here before you came.
In a manner of speaking, you are here with me or I am here with you. It does not matter.
Well, it does to me.
All I'm trying to say is,
Let's belay the hogwash and get on with it.
Yes, certainly. Well, Mrs. Prill is wearing a most interesting costume, I might add.
Where'd you get that interesting costume stuff?
Well, I just noticed that...
Well, all the members of the club wear the same thing when we're in the field. Midi blouses and bloomers are most practical.
And what is the name of your club again?
The Upward and Onward Girls.
The Upward and Onward Girls, eh?
Yes, the Upward and Onward Girls, eh? Do you want to make anything out of it?
No, indeed. I don't. I think that's just fine.
Oh, hush now, listen. That's the yellow-bellied sapsucker.
Well, you could have fooled me. Yes. Now, you all wear the midi blouses and bloomers, is that correct?
Yes, all except Alice Baumgarten. She lives down the street from me, you know.
No, I didn't know that.
Well, she does. She's a lovely girl.
I'm sure she is. We have to move right along
yes,
now.
She does. Well, anyway, Alice wears shorts. I don't like to say it, but she's one of those girls who thinks she's got good-looking legs.
And does she?
Young man, I didn't climb all the way up this tree to discuss Alice Baumgarten's legs.
Well, I'm sure that we didn't climb up to discuss the lake.
Can't you hear it, you idiot?
Can't I hear what?
The tree toad.
You mean that... Garoop. That's a tree toad?
Yes, that is a tree toad or a tree frog. Oh, a very interesting child of nature it is.
Unquestionably. Could you tell us more?
Well, it's one of the tailless amphibia that Mother Nature's adapted to tree living. You see, the tips of its tiny fingers and toes are fitted with wee adhesive discs that adhere to the bark of the tree by the rapid and intense pressure of the distal phalanx.
That's fascinating.
Oh, yes, indeed it is.
Yes, that's fascinating.
Well, with those discs, the little darlings can go hippity-skippity all over the tree. And do you know what is this, Mrs. Stratton?
No, Mrs. Prill, what is it?
The mating season.
I'm sorry, Mrs. Prill, but I am engaged to a lovely girl.
I'm not talking about you, you clockhead.
Oh.
I'm speaking about tree frogs.
Oh, pardon me.
Yes. Well, I was just going to move out on this limb and see if I could find where little Mother Froggy has laid her eggs.
Yes, well, I wouldn't go too far out on the limb.
The mother tree frog lays her eggs on a leaf that overhangs the water. Those are the Philomedusae, of course.
Of course. Be a little careful there, Mrs. Prill.
And when eggs hatch, the teeny-weeny little tadpoles drop into the water where they spend their larval life. Isn't that interesting? Oh!
Interesting and moist, I'm sure. So while Mrs. Prill is getting a first-hand look at the larval life of the tree toad, it's back to Hollywood. Well, so much for nature study. Now we come to the variety portion of our program.
Oh, what's that going to be, Stan?
You like acrobats, Peggy?
Oh, yes, I sure do.
Good. At this time, I'd like to present for the first time on radio the Zazzaloff family.
Zazzaloff? Well, what nationality is that?
Swiss. This way we don't offend anyone.
Good.
After 11 times on the Ed Sullivan Show, and what with the circus out of business, there was no plate sales for them to go. Ladies and gentlemen, the Zazzaloff family! Wonderful, ladies and gentlemen, I wish you could see this. They're building a human pyramid of bodies. Whoa, there he is, up in the air. Look at that. He's hanging by one. Now, across the floor. Whoa, wonderful. He's on the teeterboard now, wearing purple shorts, and, oh, there he goes. And being suspended by the...
How do you like that guy? Acrobats on radio.
I rather enjoyed it, Sylvan.
Velma, maybe you're not well.
Do you mind if I hear the Freberg program?
Oh, Velma.
Come on. We probably missed his version of My Fair Lady or something.
Yeah, that'll be the day. We probably missed some interesting thing like the discussion on projected hoe handle production for fiscal year 56-57.
Don't be ridiculous. Turn him on.
You all right.
Certainly want to thank you, Mr. Armstead Frag, for coming up here and giving us your views on projected hoe handle production for fiscal year 56-57.
Oh, thank you, Mr. Freberg. The pleasure was mine.
Many of you who heard our historical sketch on Barbara Frietchie may be asking yourselves rather indignantly where we got our information. Well, I'll tell you where we got our information from our historical research man, Mr. Robert E. Tainter. Well, Mr. Tainter...
Call me Bob, Stan.
Well, Bob, can you give us a little of your background?
Well, Stan, I'm a research specialist. I started out on the editorial staff of one of America's leading publications.
And that was?
Confidential.
And are you still with them?
No. They had no guts. I really couldn't work for a magazine that just pussyfoots around. When I get a story, I want it printed.
Well, I admire a man of convictions. And by the way, have you had many?
The longest was 30 days.
Oh. Well, tell us, Bob, what did you do before Confidential?
I worked with the police department.
Oh. I see. A detective?
No, stool pigeon stand. I was on regular salary.
Mm-hmm. A sort of civil service snitch, as it were.
Quite, yes.
Well, how did you happen to get into historical expose?
Well, I found there was a wealth of dirty linen in the history hamper.
Nicely put. Well, you have a rather refreshing point of view, Mr. Tainter.
Yeah.
Nothing else.
Yeah. I know. Well, some people, they look at the idols. I look at the clay feet.
An interesting hobby.
Yeah. I got a collection of clay feet that'd knock your hat off.
I'll bet. Well, tell me, what historical illusion are you about to destroy for us this evening?
Tonight, Stan, I have picked Custer's Last Stand.
Oh. Perhaps you'd better come back some other time.
Look, it's not General Custer himself. I mean, I'm still working on him.
Yes, I know, but
he
the
had
network,
this colonel, you see.
Yeah, I really
listen,
rather not hear about it.
Stan, listen. Come here, Stan.
Yeah, all right. What?
General Custer.
What? Yes, and then what?
Oh, who goes there?
Put down that rifle, you idiot. It's me.
Oh, gee, Colonel, sir, it's you. I didn't recognize you in the dark.
Yes.
Did you have a hard ride, sir?
Of course I had a hard ride. Why do you think my horse is all covered with lather?
Well, I didn't know. I thought maybe you were going to shave him.
All right, never mind. Come in my tent.
Yes, sir. Oh, by the way, sir, did you ride all the way to Little Bighorn?
Yes.
Did you see any Indians?
Yeah, I saw a couple, yes.
Just a couple?
Well, there might have been a half a dozen or so. I really didn't count them. Look, Jenkins, stand up next to me back to back, will you?
Okay, sir.
Mm-hmm. A hair shorter. Mm-hmm. Well, you'll have to do. Here, my boy, slip into my coat.
Me put your coat on,
Keep
Colonel?
your voice down. Keep your voice down.
Oh, yeah, I'm sorry.
Close that tent flap. And don't slam it.
Oh, yes.
All right. Here. Put on my boots.
Yes, sir. Oh, hey, this is sure fun, Colonel. I always wanted to dress up like an officer.
Mm-hmm. How's the boots?
Well, they feel pretty big.
A little big, are they?
Have you got the same thing in the 9.5 AAA?
No, I'm afraid I haven't. Here, drop these marbles in them.
Oh.
You'll appear taller as well.
Okay, Colonel.
Now, here's my hat. And here, wear my sword.
Oh, Colonel, sir, I couldn't put on your sword.
Yes, you could. Yes, you could. Hurry it up, please.
Gee, do you mind if I primp a little in front of your mirror?
No, I guess not, but be quick about it.
Oh,
hurry up.
Attention! Straighten up that line, man. Hey,
quiet.
What's the matter?
Your voice down.
Oh. Hey, Colonel. Hey, Colonel, so how come you're putting on that Indian headdress and that war paint?
Well, it's a little masquerade I'm going to. Kind of a practical joke I'm playing on General Custer.
I love jokes. Gee, when he sees me in your suit, he'll think I'm you, huh?
I'm banking on that.
Gee, Colonel, sir, you look for all the world like a real American Indian.
Ugh.
Hey, that's rich.
Lower your voice. Keep your voice down.
Oh, my voice down. Oh, yeah.
All right, now hurry up.
Say, Colonel, sir, what I'll tell General Custer if he asks me if I saw any Indians to the west?
Tell him anything you want. And by the way, Jenkins, which way is east?
Which? That way, I think.
That way right there, all right?
Yes,
fine.
sir.
Thank you. Say, I'll thank you not to tell the General about our little secret. It's a better joke that way.
Oh, you can count on me, sir. Hey, Colonel, sir, I think I hear Indians on the warpath. Is that part of the joke, too?
In a manner of speaking, yes. Quickly, is your horse saddled up?
Yes, sir, it's right outside.
All right, then. I'm off.
But, Colonel, sir, what horse will I ride?
Jenkins, I'm going to give you my very own horse. You can ride right next to General Custer.
Ah, gee, Colonel, I couldn't take that honor away from you.
Jenkins, be my guest.
Colonel, come quickly. We're under attack.
Gosh, sir. General Custer's here.
There on all sides of us, Colonel. In fact, I could have sworn I just saw an Indian riding away from your tent.
You don't say so, General.
Oh, I'm losing my mind. Quickly, get on your horse, Colonel. There's no time to lose. Look at them. There must be 10,000 Indians. To arms, men!
April Fool, General Custer. It's just a big Indian masquerade. The joke's on you. That one was a little close, eh? Gee, aren't we having fun, General Custer? This is the best Indian masquerade I was ever at.
Gee, Mr. Tainter, are you sure that's the way it happened?
And take it from me.
Yeah. Well, it wasn't much of a masquerade.
No, that wasn't quite the word.
The word, no. Well, how do you happen to know this story?
Well, because the colonel who rode to the east on Jenkins' horse was my grandfather.
Amazing. And what was his name?
He never told me. He was too ashamed.
Understandable. And that Indian war bonnet you're holding in your hand, is that the very one he wore?
Yes, Stan. It's a family heirloom.
Those feathers, are they eagle?
No, Stan. Chicken.
Thank you so much. Well, we've received so many cards and letters congratulating us on the fable we did on our first show 2 weeks ago that we have been truly overwhelmed here at CBS. From a personal standpoint, I am deeply grateful and delighted that you enjoyed Incident at Los Veroses. We have another such fable planned in the immediate future. And, oh yes, to the Nevada Chamber of Commerce, thanks so much for the do-it-yourself Hangman's Noose Kit. You really shouldn't have. So until next week, then, this is Stan Freberg saying thanks for listening, God bless you, and good night.
Stan Freberg Show is produced in Hollywood by Pete Barnum and is written by Stan Freberg and Pete Barnum with original songs by Stan Freberg. Featuring the music of Billy May, Judd Conlon for the Mares, and the songs of Peggy Taylor. With Ross Butler, Peter Leeds, and June Foray. Also in the cast were Virginia Gregg and Herb Vigran. Bud Sewell speaking.
Well, how did you like the Stan Freberg Show?
You can't go by me.
But then satire's that way. 67 years ago, July 28th, 1957, the Stan Freberg Show on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Tomorrow, Crime with Nick Carter, Master Detective. Also, I Was a Communist for the FBI, Fort Laramie, Gunsmoke, and Claudia. That's all coming up on Monday. But right now, Monty Woolley as the Magnificent Montague. That's next.
There's an issue cutting through the partisanship in Congress. It's AM radio. The overwhelming majority of legislators, Democrats and Republicans, support a bill to keep AM radio in cars. But time is running out. Text AM to 52886 and ask Congress to bring this bill to the floor for a vote now. AM radio is too important to let this moment pass us by.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to stop.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
Now on this Sunday Classic Radio Theater, more comedy with the Monty Woolley as the Magnificent Montague. This episode from 73 years ago, July 28, 1951, as a visit from the monster next door, Gwendolyn.
The Magnificent Montague, starring Monty Woolley. Yes, it's the Magnificent Montague, the Saturday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama. Brought to you by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, and first in television. By Chesterfield, always milder, better tasting, cooler smoking, plus no unpleasant aftertaste. And by Anacin, for fast relief from pain of headaches, neuritis, and neuralgia. Before we hear from the Magnificent Montague, let's hear from RCA Victor. Rain or shine, every day, all year round, you'll find television is a lot of fun. That's the best reason to buy television. And the best television console you can buy is the RCA Victor Regency, because it's perfect for performance and value, quality and economy. The RCA Victor Regency brings you clear, bright television reception on a big 17-inch screen. The Regency brings you all the assurance that comes with RCA Victor million-proof television, proven in well over 2 million homes. And you'll never see a console cabinet to rival the Regency for beauty. The complete instrument is a magnificent example of RCA Victor craftsmanship that you'll be proud to have in your home. What's more, only when you buy RCA Victor television can you own the practical RCA Victor factory service contract for expert installation and maintenance. So inquire about the RCA Victor factory service contract when you buy the Regency. And now, the Magnificent Montague. Life remains a tragedy for the Magnificent Montague. This former monarch of the Shakespearean stage, though 5 times a week he is Uncle Goodhart, hero of an afternoon program, still dreams of the return to the stage of who, in his estimation, is the world's greatest living actor, Edwin Montague. It is afternoon in the Montague apartment. His wife, Lily, and Agnes, the Montague maid, are home. The doorbell rings.
Oh, Agnes, there's someone at the door.
I'll get it, honey. I think it's that cute new mailman. Coming, dear. Hello there. Uh-oh, it's Western Union. What is it?
Are you Sam Harrison?
I'm going to kill that barber for talking me into this haircut. He said I look like Mary Martin. I came out looking like Martin Kane.
The Harrisons across the hall are not home. We'll take the telegram and give it to them.
Okay with me, lady. Sign here.
There. Oh, Agnes, shame on you. Darling up for the mailman making eyes at the Western Union man.
I know, honey, but I'm trapped in this apartment. The only man I ever see is that husband of yours. After him, anything looks good.
Oh, no, Agnes. Edwin is considered very handsome.
If you like hedgehogs.
Agnes. Well, if there's one thing I won't tolerate, even from you, it's jokes about Edwin's beard.
Okay.
Wouldn't say things like that to his face.
His face, who can find it?
Stop that. Oh, wait. I think I hear Sam and Martha Harrison coming home. We have a telegram for them.
I'll call them. Sam! Martha!
Oh, hello there, Agnes.
Come in, Sam. Hello, Martha.
Oh, how do you do, Mrs. Montague?
We called you in because we have a telegram for you. It was delivered to us.
A telegram?
Here it is.
By Jove, I hate to get telegrams. Frightens me to death. Here, Martha, will you open it and read it?
Yes.
Well, Martha?
Yes?
Is it from your sister, Emily?
Yes.
She's having another baby?
Yes.
Oh, no.
Yes.
And she wants us to come to St. Louis right away?
Yes.
I must say, Martha, my love, you read that telegram beautifully.
Sam, does that mean you and Martha are off to St. Louis?
Immediately. That Emily doesn't kid around. When you get her telegram, that means SOS. It's later than you think. Well, Martha?
Well, what is it, Sam?
What are we going to do with our daughter, Gwendolyn, this year?
Well, don't you take Gwendolyn along on the trip?
Not since she outgrew the half-fare ticket.
Oh. Well, how long are you going to be gone?
Only a week.
Well, then why don't you leave Gwendolyn with us?
Well, that's terribly kind of you, Mrs. Montague. If it's all right with you, we'll bring Gwendolyn in just before we go. You coming, Martha?
Yes. Agnes, get ready for a guest.
What's up, honey?
The Harrisons are going to St. Louis, and I've asked them to leave their daughter Gwendolyn with us for a week.
Honey, are you nuts?
Oh, now, Agnes.
Have you slipped your trolley?
Listen.
You snapped your cat? You're bringing a child to live for a week in the same house with Montague?
You'll see, Agnes. Edwin and Gwendolyn will become real pals.
Like Rita and Allie. Honey, for a week with that monster. Give the kid a fighting chance.
Oh, stop exaggerating. Think of it, Agnes. A little child living with us. She'll bring her youth into our apartment.
And she'll leave it there.
Oh, let me handle it, Agnes. It won't come as a shock to him. I'll explain gradually that... Oh, that must be Gwendolyn.
I'll let her in.
I'll start getting her room ready.
The little darling. Coming, sweetie. Come right in, Sugar Plum.
Oops.
Why, Agnes, I didn't know you cared.
Oh, it's you. I don't.
Sugar Plum.
Agnes, it's Bunnykins arrived. Oh, it's you, Edwin.
Who are you expecting? Jackie Coogan?
Oh, now, Edwin.
What's going on here? Agnes calls me Sugar Plum. Now you come in with Bunnykins. Have you any other names for me?
Yeah, but let's keep it clean, huh?
Agnes. Now listen, Edwin. Sam and Martha Harrison are leaving for St. Louis for 1 week.
The Harrisons gone for a week?
Now, Edwin, let me go on. Their little daughter, Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn? With that noisemaker away for a week, this will be an Isle of Paradise.
Well, Edwin, Gwendolyn is a very quiet child. You never hear a word out of her.
Well, who could hear anything out of her over the roar of her eternal roller skates?
Edwin, you have to change your attitude toward children. They have a right to live.
Why? Lily, children are a menace to civilization. Look what they're responsible for. Measles, chicken pox, mumps, and Milton Berle.
Edwin, you were a child yourself once.
That's a dirty thing to say about anybody. Oh, Lily, they're dreadful little creatures. I don't want to hear any more about children.
Oh, that's Sam Harrison to say goodbye.
To say goodbye? Well, let's not keep him here a minute longer than necessary. Come in.
Hello, Mr. Montague.
Goodbye, Sam.
Well, here's Gwendolyn.
Hello.
Goodbye, Gwendolyn.
Goodbye? Well, I thought
Sam, you go ahead. I'll explain.
Goodbye.
Edwin, I've been trying to tell you.
What?
Gwendolyn is staying with us for the week.
Gwendolyn is staying with us?
Yes.
Excuse me, I have a Fig Newton in the oven.
Agnes, stay here. Now, Edwin.
Lily, how can you do this to me?
Now, Edwin, you be quiet. Gwendolyn is staying with us, and we're going to make her happy.
Hello, Uncle Eddie.
Uncle Eddie. All right, Gwendolyn. Don't just stand there in the hall. Come in.
Thank you, Uncle Eddie.
Gwendolyn, dear, do you want to take your skates off, or do you want Uncle Eddie to take them off with your feet still in them?
Edwin, I won't have you talk that way to this child.
But, Auntie Lily, if my skates annoy Uncle Edwin, I'll gladly take them off.
Oh, isn't that cute?
See how sweet she is, Edwin?
Sweet how you women can be taken in.
Gee whiz, Auntie Lily. Just think, I'm living in the same house with Uncle Goodhart.
Edwin, did you hear? She listens to your Uncle Goodhart radio program.
I heard her. So she listens to that drivel.
Drivel? Oh, Uncle Eddie, you have such a beautiful voice.
Thank you.
I bet when you acted on the stage, you were really magnificent, just like they used to call you.
I left the stage before you were born. How did you know I was called Magnificent Montague?
I had to look up your whole career in the library when I wrote my composition in school.
Composition?
It was called My Favorite Actor. All the other girls picked Van Johnson and Gregory Peck, but I picked you, Uncle Eddie.
Really, my child?
Yes, Uncle Eddie.
Well, here, my child, let me help you take your skates off.
Oh, Edwin, isn't she wonderful? Agnes, go and get dinner ready.
Lily, what a difference in the house.
Oh, come, Edwin. We have to fix up Gwendolyn's room.
Oh, can't I help you?
No, darling. You're our little princess. You must just sit and look pretty.
Oh, come, Edwin. Isn't she divine?
Oh, she's adorable.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. The residence of Mr. and Mrs. Edwin Montague. This is Gwendolyn, the little girl from next door. Who's calling, please? Mrs. Schwarzkopf of the Red Cross? You want Aunt Lily to be at the meeting of the Ladies' Auxiliaries tonight? I'm sorry. I don't think Aunt Lily will be able to be there. She's really in no condition. You see, Uncle Edwin just beat her up. Why? She came home blind drunk. Yes, the 6th time this week. Thank you, Mrs. Schwarzkopf. Goodbye. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. London Bridge. Hello? Who? The Parents Teachers Association? You want Uncle Edwin to speak at a meeting? I'm sorry, I don't think he'll be able to. No, he's in jail. Smuggling diamonds into the country. He was getting away with it for years. He brought them in his beard. London Bridge is falling down, falling down.
We'll be back with the Magnificent Montague in just a moment. But first, here's a word from Chesterfield.
Science discovered it. You can prove it. No unpleasant aftertaste when you smoke Chesterfields. The biggest plus in cigarette history. Added to Chesterfield's world-famous ABCs. Always milder, better tasting, cooler smoking. Only Chesterfield gives you all that, plus the added pleasure of no unpleasant aftertaste. Science discovered it. The country's first and only cigarette taste panel reported that of all brands tested, only Chesterfield leaves no unpleasant aftertaste. You can prove it. Smoke a pack of Chesterfields. You'll find Chesterfields taste better while you smoke them. And after smoking, no unpleasant aftertaste. The biggest plus in cigarette history. Buy Chesterfields today.
And now, back to the Magnificent Montague. Yesterday was a big day in the Montague home. Their neighbor's little daughter, Gwendolyn, came to stay with them. Lily and Edwin have been happily shopping for toys. Agnes has been baking little cakes. And Gwendolyn has been answering the phone. It is the next day. The morning sun rises on a happy home.
London Bridge is falling down, falling down, falling down. Oh, Agnes.
Yeah, honey?
Children bring out the sweetness in everybody. Incidentally, Mrs. Schwarzkopf, president of my Red Cross chapter, could stand a little sweetness.
What happened?
Well, I can't understand it. I met her in the market this morning. When I mentioned I was planning a cocktail party to raise funds, she said, fine, you can drink up all the profits. Then she handed me this pamphlet and ran. Here, look at it.
Let me see it. Don't be a burden to your loved ones. Join Alcoholics Anonymous.
Agnes, what did you tell her when she phoned yesterday? She said...
I tell her. I didn't speak to her. The only one here was Gwendolyn.
Gwendolyn.
Did you call Aunt Hillary and Cousin Agnes?
Come here, Gwendolyn, dear.
Yes, dear Auntie Lily.
Gwendolyn, did Mrs. Schwarzkopf of the Red Cross call me yesterday? And did someone say I was too drunk to answer the phone?
Yes, Auntie Lily.
And who said that?
Uncle Edwin. He answered the phone.
Edwin? Well, he was with me. Gwendolyn, that's a fib.
You're calling me a liar.
Gwendolyn, I won't have it.
Wait a minute.
Oh, Edwin.
Quiet. What are you two doing to this little child?
Edwin, she's been lying. Oh, when Mrs. Schwarzkopf called yesterday, Gwendolyn said I was too drunk to answer the phone.
Too drunk to...
Oh, Edwin, how can you laugh at such lies?
Lies? Why, Lily, she's a child. And do you want to stifle that rare gift too few children have, imagination?
Imagination? The whole neighborhood thinks I'm a drunk.
Come here, my poor abused little child.
Dear Uncle Edwin.
Wipe away those tears and remember, Gwendolyn, don't let them crush your imagination. Let it soar like the wings of an eagle. High, unchallenged. Well, I'll get it, Lily. Hello? Oh, Mr. Flugel.
That's the sponsor of Edwin's Uncle Goodhart program.
Hello? What, Mr. Flugel? Try and keep what out of the newspapers? What? But, Mr. Flugel. Look, I'll explain it all to you at the station today. Goodbye.
Edwin, what is it?
Quiet. Gwendolyn.
Yes, Uncle Edwin.
Did you answer the phone when Mr. Flugel called me yesterday?
The telephone?
Did you tell him I was in Reno?
Reno?
Reno, Nevada, getting a divorce from Lily so I could marry Dagmar? Lily, get me my hairbrush.
Edwin, stop.
Let me go. I'm going to give this little liar the spanking of her life.
Right on her little imagination.
Dagmar, I'll teach you to answer the phone.
Edwin, someone's at the door.
Lily, we have a little viper in our nest.
Quiet. Answer the door, Agnes.
Okay. I'll commence Mr. Jarvis, president of the Proscenium Club.
Montague.
Hello, Jarvis.
Montague. The heavens are bright once more, and once again the sun is shining on Elsinore.
Jarvis, let's get to the point.
Modest Montague. It's off to England with you, bearing the bright standard of the Proscenium Club.
England?
To think that at last you, Montague, have been chosen. The American Shakespearean actor to participate in the annual Shakespearean Festival in England.
Edwin, you finally made it.
Jarvis, it's been my dream.
I'm so happy for you, Uncle Edwin.
Oh, thank you, Gwendolyn. Being chosen after all these years. Why, Lily, the child has brought me luck. This is our little darling, Gwendolyn Jarvis.
Well, little darling, she is indeed. It was from her own sweet little lips that I heard the good news that you were going to England when I phoned here yesterday.
I'll kill her.
Montague.
Oh, no, how could she have done this to me?
But, Uncle Edwin, when I read the story in the paper that England was going to invite the leading Shakespearean actor in America to their festival, I knew it would be you.
It's never me.
That's because they don't know how wonderful you are. That's why I wrote a letter to King George, and I'm getting all my classmates to write letters.
Montague, out of the mouth of babes. We'll all write letters. The Proscenium Club will petition the king. Your lifelong contribution to the Shakespearean stage must be rewarded.
Jarvis, it's hopeless.
No, it shall be done. On wings of hope, I fly back to our members. The petition will be cabled at once. I fly.
Edwin, do you think...
Lily, it's too fantastic.
Don't give up hope, Edwin. Miracles can happen. Now get along to the radio station.
I'm going.
Give a good performance, dear.
There's going to be a great performance. Me explaining to the sponsor why I'm not going to marry Dagmar. Goodbye.
Yes, Mrs. Schwarzkopf, I told a terrible lie about Aunt Lily. I just made it up about her drinking. I'm going to be a good girl from now on. Goodbye.
Well, that takes care of Mrs. Schwarzkopf.
That cleans up all the calls she made. Except for Mrs. Schmidt, the janitor's wife. She kept hanging up.
Agnes, we'll have to go down the hall and explain to Mrs. Schmidt that it was Gwendolyn who answered the phone and said she just saw her husband's head come up on the dumb waiter.
Oh, Auntie Lily, I'm so sorry I said those things.
All right, Gwendolyn.
I'll never do it again.
I think you've learned your lesson, Gwendolyn. Come, Agnes.
Coming.
I'll never, ever tell another lie. Cross my heart and hope to. One bridge is falling down. Hello? Mr. Jarvis? What wonderful news? A telegram from the British Embassy inviting Uncle Edwin to England? Oh, Mr. Jarvis, it came too late. What? Didn't you hear about it? Uncle Edwin passed away this morning. Mr. Jarvis! London Bridge is falling down. Oh, it's you, Uncle Eddie.
Hello, sweetheart.
Poor Uncle Eddie. Why don't you lie down in your den? Here. Come in. I'll smooth down the couch for you. There.
This is restful. Thank you, Gwendolyn. Oh, I need a little nap. I'm dead.
Sleep, Uncle Edwin. I'll leave you all alone.
Gwendolyn, what were you doing in Edwin's den?
Uncle Edwin came home very tired, and I made him take a little nap.
Good. Now, Agnes, see that Gwendolyn gets her bath and is ready for bed. Uncle Eddie and I will come in and kiss you goodnight.
I'm going to pray that Uncle Edwin gets invited to England.
Come here, Gwendolyn.
Yes, thank you, Lily.
Now, don't be too disappointed if they don't invite Uncle Edwin. He's been turned down for 25 years now, and every year poor old Jarvis is broken-hearted.
Oh, Auntie Lily.
Now get ready for bed.
Come on, kid, into the tub.
Oh, I'll get the door, Agnes. You go ahead. Coming. Oh, Jarvis.
Oh, Lily. Lily.
Oh, now, Jarvis, don't take it so hard.
I came here as soon as I heard the news.
Well, Jarvis, that's life.
Oh, Lily, to think that only yesterday in the same room we were all together. He laughing and happy and so hopeful.
Not really, Jarvis. I think deep down in his heart he knew this was coming.
He knew. He knew, and yet he kept up his spirit to the end. The show must go on. Oh. Where is he, Lily?
He's lying in his den.
In his den. Oh, that's just the way he would have wanted it, surrounded by his beloved volumes of Shakespeare. Lily, may I see him?
Yes, all right. But be quiet. This way. Come in, Jarvis. There he is.
Oh, how natural he looks. He has at last joined Shakespeare.
Jarvis.
Oh, the world's a stage and all the men and women merely players. They have their entrances and their exits.
Their exits and their entrances.
Thank you. Their exits and their entrances. And one man in his time plays numerous parts.
Oh, plays many parts. You never get it right, Jarvis.
Thank you, Montague. Plays many...
Jarvis, what's wrong?
Gad, you're pale as a ghost.
A ghost, aye!
Jarvis, what are you talking about?
I was told you were dead. Little Gwendolyn...
Gwendolyn!
Did you call me, Uncle Eddie?
Get over my knee, young lady. Lily, my hairbrush.
But Uncle Edwin...
Quiet! You fooled me for the last time. You lied to Mr. Jarvis when he called.
Yes, Gwendolyn, after I told you about the telegram from the British ambassador, you said Mr. Montague was dead.
Yes, after he told you about the telegram. Telegram? Jarvis, what do you mean?
Well, here it is, Montague. Read it.
Oh, Edwin, it's true. It's true.
Listen. Edwin Montague, Esquire, His Majesty the King of England invites you to participate in the forthcoming Shakespearean Festival. This is a command performance. Your immediate presence is requested. Signed, the British ambassador.
Oh, Jarvis, your petition worked.
No, Lily, it was Gwendolyn and her simple little letter.
Gwendolyn, I was about to spank you, the one person who made my dream come true. England. Gwendolyn, let me kiss your hand.
Get up, Uncle Eddie. You get to England right away and really show them how to act.
England, Gad, Lily, my trunks.
Edwin, have you everything?
Everything. Goodbye, Lily.
Edwin, can't we go down to the pier?
There's no time. The boat leaves in a few moments. Goodbye, Agnes.
Goodbye. Edwin, the telegram from the British ambassador.
I have it, Lily, right with my passports. Goodbye. I'm off for England.
Goodbye. Well, Agnes, he's gone.
He finally made it.
Yes, his dream. And if it wasn't for little Gwendolyn... Where is she?
I just put her to bed. I'm going to tuck her in.
Oh, wait. I'll go with you.
Okay. Here's her room. Shh. She may be asleep. Ah, look.
What?
She's saying her prayers.
Let's listen.
And bless Mommy and Daddy and Aunt Emily's new baby and Aunt Lily and Cousin Agnes.
Oh.
And please forgive me for sending that telegram and signing it the British ambassador.
Oh, no. She sent the telegram. Call the Queen Mary way, we can still stop him.
Let him go, honey. With a meat shortage in England, a ham like him will be welcome.
Agnes, call the boat.
No matter what you now take for headache relief, we urge you to try Anacin for the incredibly fast relief these tablets bring the next time you're suffering from a headache. Now, the reason Anacin is so wonderfully fast-acting and effective is this. Anacin is like a doctor's prescription. That is, Anacin contains not just one, but a combination of medically proven active ingredients in easy-to-take tablet form. Thousands of people have received envelopes containing Anacin tablets from their own dentist or physician, and in this way discovered the incredibly fast relief Anacin brings from pains of headache, neuritis, and neuralgia. So the next time a headache strikes, take Anacin for this wonderfully fast relief. Anacin, A-N-A-C-I-N. Anacin at any drug counter in handy boxes of 12 and 30, economical family-size bottles of 50 and 100. Listen again next week, friends, to the Magnificent Montague starring Monty Woolley, the Saturday night transcribed feature on NBC's All-Star Festival of Comedy, Music, Mystery, and Drama, brought to you by RCA Victor, world leader in radio, first in recorded music, and first in television. By Chesterfield, always milder, better tasting, cooler smoking, plus no unpleasant aftertaste. And by Anacin, for fast relief from pain of headache, neuritis, and neuralgia. The Magnificent Montague was written by Nat Hiken and Billy Friedberg. Ann Seymour was Lily. Pert Kelton was Agnes. Also heard on tonight's program were Art Carney, Gavin Gordon, and Denise Alexander. This is Don Pardo.
Tomorrow, hear New Theater and the Symphony on NBC.
73 years ago, July 28, 1951, The Magnificent Montague here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Coming up in a moment, we'll go on a date with Judy.
Congress is poised to pass a bill to keep AM radio in cars, but time is running out. 82 million Americans risk losing the news, sports, talk, traffic, and vital emergency information they rely on. Text AM to 52886 and tell Congress to pass this bill now.
Message and data rates may apply. You may receive up to 4 messages a month, and you may text STOP to STOP.
This message furnished by the National Association of Broadcasters.
A Date with Judy started out as a summer replacement series for Bob Hope's show in the summers of 1941 and 1942. 14-year-old Ann Gillis was in the title role for the first run, the 1941 run, while Dellie Ellis, later known as Joan Loring, portrayed Judy Foster when the series returned for the 1942 summer. Of course, you know Joan Loring for her role as Bessie Waddy in The Corn is Green in 1945. She got an Academy Award nomination for Best Supporting Actor in that. She also originated the role of Marie Buckholder in Come Back Little Sheba on Broadway in 1950, for which she won an early version of the Tony Award, the Donaldson Award. So right now, let us hear from Dellie Ellis, later to be known as Joan Loring, in an episode of A Date with Judy. This goes back 82 years to July 28, 1942, and it's moving day.
Pepsodent invite you to have A Date with Judy. Well, let's see. It's early evening in the Foster home, and Father, Judy, and Randolph are waiting anxiously for the phone to ring.
That's it. That's Mother.
Judy, hurry up. Father's got his long-distance call through. I'll be right there.
Hello, Dora?
Hello? Melvin?
Well, now, who else will be calling you long distance?
What did you say, dear?
I said who else will be calling you long distance? Well, how's everything in Springfield? How's Grandma?
Just fine. She wants me to stay another week.
Well, now, don't stay too long. I miss your cooking.
What?
I said I miss your cooking.
You don't need to rub it in, Father.
How's Judy and Randolph?
Just a minute, I'll let you talk to them. Here, Judy, talk to your mother.
Hello, Mother.
Hello, Judy. How are you, dear?
Just fine, Mother. Just a minute, I'll let you talk to Randolph.
Hello, Mother.
Hello, Randolph. How are you, dear?
Just fine. Just a minute, I'll let you talk to Father again.
Hello, Dora.
How are you, dear?
We're just fine, Dora.
Isn't it amazing? Every one of us is just fine.
Melvin, Grandma wants to say a few words.
All right.
Hello, Melvin.
Hello, Grandma. How are you feeling?
I can't hear you.
I said, how are you feeling?
Well, I don't know what you said, but you sound good. How are you feeling?
Who, me? Oh, I'm feeling fine.
Well, I don't want to take up any more time. After all, this is a long-distance call, and Aunt Lily wants to say a few words. Hold the line.
What was that?
I said hold the line.
Yeah.
Here's Lily.
Hello, Melvin.
Hello, Lily. How are you?
I'm fine, but I know this is costing money, so I'm going to let Uncle Pete say a few words.
Hello, Melvin. How are you?
Great, Pete. Great. How's business?
Well, I tell you, but after all, this is a long-distance call, and I don't want to take up too much time. Besides, Dora's dying to talk to you again.
All right.
Hello, Melvin.
Hello, Dora.
This is a fascinating conversation.
Well, I suppose I better hang up now. After all, this is a long-distance call.
But we haven't been talking 3 minutes yet.
What did you say, dear?
I said we haven't been talking 3 minutes yet.
Look out, Father. You'll spend 3 minutes telling you haven't been talking 3 minutes.
Anyhow, there's something I want to tell you, Dora. You know the old Reynolds house on Maple Street?
Oh, yes, the one with the lovely old lawn.
Yes. Well, I got it on a trade.
On what, dear?
A trade. I bought a lot for the factory expansion, and I got the house on trade.
Well, what are you going to do with it?
Well, I thought we might live in it.
Will we really, Father?
Oh, Melvin, that's wonderful.
Well, we'll talk about it when you get home.
All right, dear. Well, this is a long-distance call, so goodbye, dear, and kiss the children for me.
All right, Dora, goodbye.
Are we really going to move, Father?
Oh, why not? It's a good house. Well, children, now that I've talked to your mother, I'm going to bed. Now, don't you stay up too late.
Gee, that's super. Maple Street.
Good night.
Good night, Father.
Good night.
Randolph, I have the most luxurious idea. Wouldn't it be wonderful if Mother could arrive home and find herself just entirely moved?
Well, who's going to do it, the little brownies? On account of if you're counting on me.
I am counting on you, Randolph. We've been living off Mother and Father long enough without taking any responsibility.
I'm satisfied.
Randolph, we won't say a word to anyone, not even Father. You know what we're going to do?
I hate to think.
We're going to start moving tomorrow.
Yes, things are beginning to move in tonight's date with Judy, chaperoned by Pepsodent, and we'll find out which way they're moving in a moment. You know, it's surprising how many people go around with dingy teeth, not because they can't help it, just because they don't know it. If they'd only make the tongue test, they'd find out quick. Try it yourself right now. Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. Do you feel a filmy coating? Then switch to Pepsodent tonight. Pepsodent removes that filmy coating you can feel with your tongue. Flushes it away, dingy stains and all. Polishes your teeth to a beautiful, shining brilliance. Make the tongue test again after using Pepsodent, and your teeth feel shiny smooth to your tongue. They feel clean, they look clean, they are clean. Get a tube of Pepsodent toothpaste tonight and see how much better you look when your teeth shine and your smile is sparkling. And now, let's get back to that date with Judy.
I guess this is the house, Randolph. It's empty.
This big hunk of masonry?
Isn't it luxurious? It's practically a mansion.
Well, let's take down the for sale sign and go in.
I'm positively panting to see the inside.
Yikes, it's big. Foster found this going to look positively puny living in this big dump.
How will we get in?
Oh, the door's locked.
Goofers, it looks all marbly and everything inside. Like a palace almost.
Stand back, Princess. I'll try a window. Oh, that was easy. Let's climb in.
Jeepers, it's kind of gloomy.
Hey, a marble staircase.
Gosh, I never expected to see the day I'd live in a house with a marble staircase.
Judy, look, out here in the entrance.
What'd you find, Randolph?
A fish pond right smack inside of the house.
And a fountain right smack inside of the fish pond. Oh, Randolph, it's too terribly elegant.
Well, one thing, we'll never be lonesome with a bunch of fish living here with us.
course, the house needs a lot of work.
And the pond needs a lot of fish.
We'll have to do something about these floors and walls.
Ourselves, personally?
Of course. We'll save Father all the expense we can. He won't have to pay for a single thing, except wallpaper and paste and paint and brushes. New floors and walls will put life into this house.
You know what else will put life into this house?
What?
Fish.
Young man, you've been looking at the goldfish for the last half hour. Have you made up your mind yet?
Well, this is a difficult purchase. You know, it isn't every fish you can live with.
How about goldfish? People have been living with them for years.
You know, I think you get kind of tired of goldfish in time. I had some once in a bowl, and I got tired of them the first time I had to change the water. Have you got any cleaner fish than goldfish?
Well, the swordfish have nice habits.
Well, they're rather large for a house.
What about pollywogs?
They're rather small.
What do you think of speckled trout?
Well, I think they're quite speckled.
Well, I wish you'd make up your mind. You're the toughest customer I ever had.
Hello, Randolph. Did you buy the fish yet?
Why should he hurry? What else have I got to do today but wait on him?
As a matter of fact, I'm torn between speckled trout and guppies.
Oh, I think guppies are adorable. I think we ought to take them.
Well, you know, in a pinch, you can eat a trout.
Oh, I wouldn't eat a fish I knew personally.
Well, okay, mister. I'll take 2 dozen guppies. Wrap them up.
It'll be a pleasure.
Well, that's over. Now all we have to do is hang the wallpaper and paint the floors.
That shouldn't take us any time at all.
Oh, Randolph, I'm so tired of painting. I've been doing it for a solid half hour, and all I've got painted is the upstairs.
Oh, that's not bad, Judy. Took Michelangelo years just to paint a ceiling.
I think I'll stop painting for a while and wallpaper a bit.
Knocking off a room or two every 10 minutes.
Well, I don't poke around like you. My goodness, it's taken you the whole half hour just to wallpaper the dining room.
Yes, but it's neat.
What happened to the fireplace?
Well, I thought I'd take the course of easiest resistance.
Meaning what?
Well, I papered over it. Sort of ran into difficulties papering around it. I thought it'd be easier to cut the paper off later when we need the fireplace.
We have to wait till winter to see that beautiful fireplace?
Oh, I'll cut it out someday when I have some spare time.
Hello, folks.
Oh, hello. Who are you?
I'm the gas man. I come to turn on the gas.
Oh, Randolph, guess what? We're going to have gas.
Well, isn't that just dandy?
I've been all over the back of the house, and so far I ain't been able to find the gas meter.
Oh, I'm sure it must be around someplace.
Yeah, it usually is.
I wish some of the other people had come. Have you seen any of your co-workers, mister? Like the waterman and the electricity man and the telephone man?
No, ma'am. We usually go our separate ways.
Well, I wish they'd come. My goodness, I sent for them early this morning.
Is that so?
Yeah, my fish are especially anxious for the waterman to come. They're in a little pail of water and they're just dying to get in the pond.
That's too bad.
Well, I guess I'll go ahead with the wallpaper. I think I'll start in the hall here. Yeah.
Aren't you going to take the cobwebs off the wall first?
Why, no. The wallpaper will cover them anyhow.
I guess you got something there.
Ooh. This paste is awfully good.
Could I help you, lady?
Well, you could hold this barrel while I stand up on it to hang the wallpaper.
It's a pleasure.
Thanks very much. See, but this is kind of fun. I always did like pasting things together, ever since I was a little girl and made paper dolls.
You've got that paper a little crooked there, lady.
Oh, I don't think it makes a lot of difference. Randolph, look. While I stand up on this barrel and paste the paper up on the upper part of the wall, you stand below me and take it the rest of the way down.
It's a deal.
You're a little crooked again, lady.
The critic says you're a little crooked again, Judy.
Oh, just a very little.
Well, I want this to be perfect.
Well, we'll do our level best to please you.
I just love to dabble around and paste.
Mister, whatever got you started on the career of a gas man?
I don't know. I went out one day looking for a job, and when I came home that night, I was a gas man. And that's what I've been doing ever since.
Well, I'm going to get off the barrel. I want to stand back and see what this looks like. Hold out your hand, mister, while I jump.
It's a pleasure.
Well, it doesn't look so bad. Except for one thing. That big lump down at the bottom.
You're darn right, I'm the lump.
Well, jeepers, how did you get under the paper?
Oh, just how the cobwebs must feel under there. Trapped.
Oh, goopers. This is a mess.
I'm very discouraged.
I think I may know the way out of this darkness. I read a book once, Tom Sawyer by M. Twain. There was a very similar situation.
What happened?
Well, he was painting a fence, and it gave him a pain in the epiglottis. But did he let on it was a pain in the epiglottis? No. He pretended it was a veritable circus. And you know what happened?
No.
Everybody else wanted to do it for him.
Honest?
Yep. Now, Judy, if you'll be so good as to wipe a little paste off my second-best suit, I'll go out into the world and come back with a whole army of willing workers.
You know, that kid's got a good thinker on him.
Look out, Shirley. Don't come in here. The paint isn't dry. Kitchen's all papered, Randolph.
Oh, fine, Hilbert. One kitchen papered. Check.
And Mitzi wanted me to tell you that she's nearly finished painting the dining room floor.
One dining room floor, slightly painted. Check.
She can't get in to report personally. She's painted all around herself.
Oh.
She's marooned in the middle of the floor. Oh, hiya, Judy.
This is darling of you kids. Isn't it wonderful of them, Randolph?
Oh, think nothing of it.
Why don't you help them, Randolph?
I'm supervising. Come to think of it, why don't you help them?
I'm busy encouraging them.
Hey, look. Guppies in this fish pond.
Yeah, they're all settled. And they seem very happy in their new home.
Well, if I'm going to be happy in my new home, the telephone man had better get here.
Bear up, child. The phone's in.
Look, folks, I'm in a desperate position. I've been all over this house with a fine-tooth comb, and I still can't find the gas meter.
Oh, how terrible. Gee, Randolph, I wonder if you could have wallpapered over it.
Oh, not me. I wouldn't do anything like that.
Listen, everybody.
Huh?
Stop painting and papering. We've got to take time off and help the gas man find the gas meter.
Oh, a treasure hunt?
Hilbert, that's a wonderful idea. And whoever finds the gas meter wins a prize.
What's the prize?
Whoever finds it first gets to shellac the kitchen linoleum.
Oh, well, don't worry. We'll find it if we have to tear the house apart.
You're doing okay now.
Hey, come on, you kids. Let's go, huh?
Strange thing, mob psychology.
I wonder who that is.
You the lady of the house?
Well, in a way, yes.
Then sign here.
What?
Sign here.
She makes it a point never to sign anything without reading it first.
Listen, this ain't the only load of furniture I've got to deliver today. Sign here.
Well, okay.
That'll be $23.40.
How much?
You heard me, $23.40. Hurry up and get it from your mouth so we can start unloading this stuff.
Well, I doubt very much if we have $23.40. Can't you just charge it to Melvin Foster?
Sorry, Bud. We do strictly a cash-on-the-line business.
Oh, Randolph, I guess we'll have to call Father after all. Gene, I did want it to be a surprise about us moving.
Oh, he'll still find a few things to be surprised about. Wait till he sees this house.
Well, anyhow, this'll give me a chance to try out the new phone. Gee, where's all that money just for moving a little furniture? Silly.
Mr. Foster's office.
Hello, Miss Perkins. Is Father there?
He's not in, Judy. He's at the railroad station.
What's he doing there?
Oh, I thought you knew. Your mother and grandmother are arriving on the 5:30 train.
Oh, no, that can't be.
He got a wire.
Oh, Coopers. Goodbye.
Good news, no doubt.
Randolph, Mother's back.
I don't believe it.
She got in on the 5:30 train, and Grandma's coming with her.
Well, it's almost 5:30 now.
You got my money?
Well, no, my father's not in his office.
No money, no furniture. Goodbye.
Hey, where are you going?
When you get the dough, let me know.
Gee, there goes the furniture. What'll we do now?
Do you think he'd take a down payment?
Maybe.
Well, I know where there's $5.
Wonderful.
Well, let's go back to the old house and get it.
All right.
Hey, whoa. On second thought, there's a slight complication.
What?
The moving company's already got my $5. It's in the top drawer of my dresser.
We'll be back with Judy in just a moment. You know, I've noticed at every party there's always one girl who has a group of admiring men around her. And she doesn't use hypnotism either. She may not be beautiful, but there's one thing she's sure to have, and that's an engaging smile. The Pepsodent kind of smile that flashes out from shiny, sparkling teeth. Everybody likes to look at teeth that sparkle and shine, but dingy teeth make people look the other way. You may have dingy teeth without realizing it, because you may not be getting the results you think you are getting from your toothpaste. Here's the way to find out. Run the tip of your tongue over your teeth. You feel that filmy coating? That film on teeth collects stains, so no wonder your teeth look dingy. Better rush to your nearest drug counter and get a tube of Pepsodent toothpaste. Pepsodent contains a super cleansing agent, Irium, that washes away the dingy coating from your teeth, makes them so clean they're shiny smooth to your tongue, brilliant and sparkling. And the cool, clean flavor of Pepsodent makes your mouth feel as fresh as a lake breeze. Tomorrow may be your big day. So go to your drug counter tonight for a tube of Pepsodent toothpaste. And remember to take an empty metal tube with you. And now, let's get back to the date with Judy.
We're almost home, Grandma.
I always say east, west, home's best.
It certainly will be good to jump into a nice warm bath after that train trip.
I never expected you back so soon, Dora. And Grandma here, too. Boy, was I tickled when I got your wire. Yep, here we are. All out.
Oh, it's swell being home.
Do you know what I'm looking forward to? Sleeping in that old four-poster bed that used to be Grandpa's and mine. I haven't slept in that bed for 20 years. Been missing it all this time. Sorry I ever gave it to you, Dora.
Oh, Grandma.
Now you two are just going to take it nice and easy.
It's going to be wonderful being in a house where there's some young people and some excitement once in a while. My house is so quiet and empty nowadays.
Well, Grandma, there isn't anything very exciting. Melvin!
What's the matter?
Melvin, where's the furniture?
Gracious!
It's gone. Everything's gone.
For the love of heaven.
There's not a stick of furniture in the house.
Well, everything was here this morning when I left.
Melvin, did you move into the Reynolds house while we were gone?
Move? With you away? Do you think I'm crazy?
Grandma, Mother. Hi, Grandma. Welcome home, Mother.
Judy, Randolph, come and kiss Grandma.
Judy, Randolph, have you two got anything to do with the bare condition of this house?
Well, yes, it's part of a surprise.
Surprise is putting it kind of mildly.
Father, we moved.
Moved? Now, you don't need to worry about a thing. We've got the new house all fixed up. The floors are all up.
Even the fish are in the fish pond.
Now, wait a minute. Let it leak out gradually. I don't think I can take it all in one solid hunk.
Now, don't worry, Father. We've taken care of just positively everything. The lights are on, and the telephone's in, and the water's turned on.
There's only one small item that's bothering us.
What's that?
Well, the furniture.
What's wrong with it?
It isn't there.
It isn't there?
No.
Well, if it isn't there and if it isn't here, where is it?
Well, when last seen it was heading south on Maple Street.
What?
But you don't need to worry about it, Father.
Yeah, I'm sure it'll turn up one of these days.
Don't drive so fast, Judy.
Oh, be quiet, Dora. This is fun.
I'm sorry, Mother. I'm just so anxious for all of you to see what our gang has done to the new house.
I can hardly wait. What are we stopping here for?
Well, because this is our new house.
It most certainly is not.
What?
The old Reynolds place is 3 blocks down on the other side of the street.
Would you mind saying that again, Father?
I said this is not the house I bought.
Are you sure, Father?
Well, of course I'm sure.
Gloomy, zoomy, this is grim.
Judy, this isn't the house you wallpapered and got all fixed up, is it?
Yes.
Oh, for the love of heaven.
Can't I turn my back for a minute without something terrible happening?
All that energy gone to waste.
Hours and hours.
I hate to look, but we'd better go in and see what you did to this house.
This is a mighty interesting situation.
Let me help you out, Grandma.
Help me nothing. I'm not so old I can't get out of a car myself.
Judy, whatever made you think this was the house?
Well, Father said it was a mansion on Maple Street.
Mansion? It's a monstrosity. Why, they haven't been able to rent it for years.
But look, there's a marble staircase and a fish pond.
With fish.
Are you sure you wouldn't rather live here?
I'd just love to live here. I'd just be crazy to live here. Judy, will you please get it through your head? It isn't mine.
You're darn right it isn't yours.
Who said that?
I did. May I ask what the devil you're doing on my property?
Well, I'm very sorry, Mr.
Buckley.
Buckley, yes, Mr. Buckley. My son and daughter just made a little mistake, that's all. They thought this house was mine.
And I suppose your son and daughter stuck striped wallpaper all over my walls and slopped cheap paint all over my floors.
It's not cheap paint. It was very expensive.
How expensive? Who paid for it?
Why, you did, Father. We charge it to you, naturally.
The wallpaper, too, I suppose.
Well, naturally.
That's not the only thing you're going to pay for. Either you settle for the damage these kids have done, or you've got a lawsuit on your hands.
Well, you don't have to scream, Buckley, even though this is your house.
I can scream on my property anytime I please.
Then I can, too, if I have to pay damages for it.
That's right, Melvin. Give it to him.
Melvin, please, let's not have a fight.
Father, you haven't got time to fight. You've got to try to find the furniture.
Oh, the furniture. Yes, all right. I'll call the moving company right away.
Take your hands off that telephone.
I'll not take my hands off the telephone.
This is my house, and I say you can't use the telephone.
My children happen to order this telephone, and I'm paying the bill. And I'll use it just as much as I please.
Give it to him, Melvin.
Judy, what moving company was it?
Well, Judy?
I don't remember.
You've got to remember, we won't have a bed to sleep in tonight if you don't.
Think, darling.
All of a sudden, it slipped my mind.
Randolph, do you remember?
Judy called him, not me.
Good grief, the things that happened to me.
I hope you can't find your furniture.
That's a fine thing to say. Hello, information. Give me the numbers of every van and storage company in town. Griffin Storage? Do you have a load of furniture belonging to Melvin Foster? Oh, you don't? Thank you. Prospect Moving? Do you have a load of furniture to be delivered to Maple Street? Oh, all they move is buildings. Elite Moving? Hey, could you tell me if you have some furniture belonging to Melvin Foster? No, don't look at the dead storage. This furniture's very much alive. Yes, you do? Yes, that's my furniture, all right. All right, deliver it right away. Look, I don't care if the van is locked in the garage for the night. Unlock it. I want that furniture delivered right away.
My goodness, I've had more excitement here in one day than I've had in Springfield in 20 years.
Well, come on, everybody. Let's get out of here.
It's about time.
Now you can see the house that Melvin really bought, Grandma.
Hey, what do you know? I found it.
Good heavens, who's that?
Well, folks, it took me a long time, but I found it.
And who are you?
It's the gas man.
I finally found the meter. Guess where it was?
I give up.
Behind the bathtub.
I never would have guessed it.
Well, now the gas is all turned on.
Well, that's just dandy. Because now you can go right back and turn it off again.
Gee, this isn't much of a house, is it, Father?
I'd like to know what's wrong with it.
Well, it's not a mansion. There isn't even a marble staircase.
Then where'll I keep my guppies?
You know, I think this house will look very nice with furniture.
Where in the name of heaven is that furniture? You think they were bringing it in from the Canadian border?
Grandma, this is a fine welcome for you. I'm terribly sorry. The first night you're here, we have to sit around on a bare hardwood floor all evening waiting for the furniture to come. What time is it, Randolph?
Wait a sec till I turn on my flashlight. It's almost midnight.
Grandma, you shouldn't be up this late.
Well, I haven't been for I don't know how long, but I like it.
All I can think of about is how much this business is costing me. Surprise. Huh?
Well, we were just trying to save you and Mother work.
Will it be very expensive, Father?
Expensive. Putting a telephone in, taking the telephone out. Turning the gas on, turning it off. Lights on, lights off. Our furniture going for a joyride all over the map. This will cost me $75 if it costs me a penny. And heaven knows what damages I'll have to pay Buckley. He'll probably...
Oh, that must be the moving men.
Oh, thank heaven.
Look here, Foster. What are you up to anyway?
Oh, it's you, Buckley.
You're darn right it's me. And I want to know what's the idea of unloading a whole truckload of furniture into my house.
For the love of heaven, did they deliver the furniture to your house?
To the mansion?
They did. And all I've got to say is, get that furniture out of my house before morning.
How can I? Where will I get a moving van at this time of night?
Well, Father, you've got a nice collection of telephone numbers.
Thank goodness the furniture's in place. What time is it, somebody?
When you hear the gong, it will be exactly 10 a.m.
Imagine going to bed at 10 o'clock in the morning.
Well, Grandma, you're all set. Good night now.
Good night, children. My, this four-poster bed sure looks tempting.
Good night, Grandma.
Now go to bed, Randolph.
Okay. Good morning.
Melvin, I wonder what our new neighbors think of us, moving in at 6:30 in the morning.
Oh, forget the neighbors, Dora. Oh, let's get some sleep. I was beginning to wonder if I'd ever see a bed again as long as I lived. Oh, sleep. Wonderful sleep. Who the devil is that? Okay, I'm coming.
Who is it, Father?
Imagine anybody ringing the doorbell at a time like this. 10 o'clock in the morning. Practically the middle of the night. Oh, Buckley, it's you again.
Good morning, Mr. Foster. Beautiful day, isn't it?
Now, what do you want? We finally got our furniture out of your tub.
Who's complaining? Guess what?
All right, I'll guess.
A man came round to my house first thing this morning, wants to buy it.
The mansion?
Yep. Says he sees possibilities in it, now that the floors are painted and the walls are papered. Of course, he'll have to do it over, but it gave him a good idea of what could be done with the place.
Well, blow me down.
Naturally, I feel I owe him something, so here's my check for $100 for all your trouble.
Oh, it was no trouble at all.
$100. And to think Randolph and I earned it all ourselves.
Hold on, our date isn't over yet. We're going to interrupt the moving business to talk about the toothbrush business for a minute, that's all. You know, there's such a swing to the Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrush, I can only explain it in one way. A lot of folks must have been dissatisfied with their toothbrushes and just waiting for a brush like Pepsodent's. It's so different, it's patented, you know. There's not a scratchy bristle in that Pepsodent brush, and not a flabby, soggy one either. For Pepsodent uses slender nylon bristles that are gentle and yet stay springy and alive. 50 tufts of gentle bristles united for super cleansing. It's a pleasure to brush your teeth with the Pepsodent brush. It's even a pleasure to buy it, because you get a bonus. When you open the package, out pops a cash certificate worth 10 cents extra spending money. Be good to your family. Protect their smiles. Get Pepsodent 50 Tough toothbrushes all around. You'll get a 10-cent cash certificate, a Pepsodent bonus with every brush. And now, back to Judy.
I must say this is the quickest moving we've ever done.
Yes, Mother, and with the exception of the marble staircase and the fish pond and the elegance, I like this house as much as the mansion.
Gee, Mother, where did Grandma disappear to all of a sudden?
Why, she just went up to take a nice hot bath.
Dora, I'm scared to pieces.
Why, Grandma, what's the matter?
Dora, there are guppies in the bathtub.
Invited to have a date with Judy on Tuesday next, with Pepsodent as your chaperone. A Date with Judy with Dellie Ellis and Dix Davis is written by Aline Leslie and Jerome Lawrence. Original music by Gordon Jenkins. Remember, for the safety of your smile, use Pepsodent twice a day. See your dentist twice a year. Larry Keating speaking. This program came to you from Hollywood. This is the National Broadcasting Company.
The second season of the program A Date with Judy, Dellie Ellis starring as that. Now, we will mention, of course, that later on Louise Erickson took over the role in 1943 when the series with Bristol Myers as its new sponsor replaced the Eddie Cantor show for the 1943 summer season. She would continue over the next 7 years when the show went full-time, from 1944 to 1949, and then the show's final season would be on ABC from 1949 to 1950. The show ended up becoming so popular that CBS developed a rival program starring Janet Waldo, Meet Corliss Archer. Yes, teenage girls seem to have somewhat of an appeal. From 82 years ago, July 28, 1942, A Date with Judy, here on Classic Radio Theater. Coming up in just a moment, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
What's with the basket, Mom?
Picnic?
Nope, this is Grandma's Pantry, modern version.
Great, Mom. Only what's it for?
Civil defense. And you're the one who brought the idea home from scout meeting. Here, help me check off the list. Fruit juice?
Yup.
Powdered milk?
Right.
Canned meats?
Into civil defense comes Grandma's Pantry, the symbol of preparedness. Unexpected company? Grandma always had plenty for everyone.
No matter what unexpected disaster, your family should have a 7-day supply of food on hand, kept well protected in jars or tins, and safe in a shelter area.
In an emergency or during evacuation in case of enemy attack, it's too late to plan. You will have to depend on your own resources, on Grandma's Pantry.
Assure the future. Know the 6 steps to survival. Make this year your family's year for civil defense. You take the first step.
Civil defense, an American tradition.
And one should have emergency supplies, a grandma's pantry, if you will, for any circumstances. So, invest in that, not just for atomic attack, but also in case of supply chain shortages, which has become a bigger problem, or in case of emergency, any kind. So check it out. All right, right now, let us go back 76 years, July 28, 1948. Bud Abbott and Lou Costello as Lou learns how to swim.
Hey, Abbott, what time is it? It's time for the Abbott and Costello Show. We're on the air for ABC here in Hollywood.
Well, what are we waiting for? Let's go with the Abbott and Costello Show.
Yes, it's the Abbott and Costello Show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood tonight for your listening pleasure with Susan Miller and Matty Malnick's orchestra. So hold on to your chairs, folks, for here they are, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello.
All right, stop all that yelling. Where did you get that new car in the parking lot?
Oh, I bought it from an old lady in Pasadena. I gave her $500 and a bonus.
You had to give the old lady a bonus?
Yeah.
What was it?
An old man.
Talk sense, will you, Lou? Say, by the way, why is your Uncle Mike going over to that water cooler so much? He's drank a gallon of water.
Abbott, I never saw a man as thirsty as Uncle Mike. He drinks about 10 gallons of water a day. Then at night he goes into the living room, sits down in his favorite rocking chair.
And then what does he do?
He just sits there and rocks and sloshes.
Well, maybe it's because your Uncle Mike sailed on the ocean for so many years. He sailed all around the world, didn't he?
Oh, yes, indeed, yes. He got a lot of souvenirs, too, Abbott.
He did?
He's got a diamond from South Africa, a jade necklace from China, a whalebone sword from Alaska, and a hula skirt from Hawaii.
Wait a minute. Where did he get that shrunken head?
That's the barber's fault. He keeps putting those darned hot towels on him.
Costello, I think you're an idiot.
I beg your pardon?
I say I think you're an idiot.
You can't say that about me, Abbott. My family dates back to the Pilgrims. We're all blue bloods.
Who cares about ancestors or heredity? I wouldn't care if my grandfather was a baboon.
No, but it would make a lot of difference to your grandmother.
Now, don't get smart, Costello, or I'll have to slap you down.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
I'm just tough as you are, and maybe tougher. I'm so tough I can take Joe Louis apart and see what makes him tick. I can take Jack Dempsey apart, too. Any champion you name I can handle.
Wait a minute. How about the swimming champ, Esther Williams? Could you take her apart?
Look, Abbott, anything put together that good don't need tinkering with.
Oh, get him out.
Yes, the boys are on the beam tonight, and they'll be back on it in just about 1 minute. But first, let's hear this.
Costello. What? Look, come here. What's the matter with you, Costello? You look terrible. How did you get those circles under your eyes?
Well, I didn't sleep good last night. My brother Pat came over to sleep with me, and he brought over his pet skunk and his 2 goats, and they slept at the foot of the bed. The air was terrible in that bedroom.
Well, why didn't you open the window?
What, let my pigeons fly away?
Why didn't you open the door?
Every time I open the door, my pigs run out.
Did you get any sleep at all?
No, I stayed up until 6 o'clock in the morning reading the dictionary.
You read the dictionary all night?
Yeah, I couldn't wait to see how it ended.
You idiot. The next thing you'll be telling me that you're reading the Los Angeles telephone directory.
That I wouldn't do.
That's good.
I'm waiting until they make a movie out of it.
No wonder you can't sleep at night reading all that junk.
Well, I'm not the only one that can't sleep. My Aunt May's up all night.
What you got, insomnia?
No, before she goes to bed, she puts on face cream, hand cream, vanishing cream, body cream, and foot cream.
Well, how does that keep her awake?
She keeps sliding out of the bed. We gotta move out of that house, Abbott. I haven't slept a night since we lived there. I keep looking out the window at that blonde that lives across the street.
Why don't you pull down the shade?
I can't reach across the street.
Shame on you peeking at blondes. I thought you were interested in Susan Miller, Lou.
Well, no, I'm mad at her. She went in the store yesterday and bought a hat and made me pay for it.
Why, you cheapskate.
I'm a cheapskate, eh? You're the cheapskate, Abbott. Your wife told me that last week you sat in the cellar for 3 nights.
Well, how does that make me a cheapskate?
For 10 cents, you could have baited the trap with real cheese.
Just the same, you shouldn't object to buying Susan a new hat. After all, a hat is a woman's crowning glory. When a woman walks down the street, what do you notice first? Her figure? No. Her face? No. Her legs? No. You notice her hat.
Look, Abbott, all the kids are in bed now. Let's give the right answer.
Costello, how do you manage to increase your stupidity and ignorance?
I've been putting in a lot of overtime lately.
You wouldn't be so ignorant if you read the papers and kept up with what's going on.
I read the papers.
All right, then, tell me. What do you think of universal military training?
I don't think it's fair.
Why?
If Universal is going to have military training, they should give it to RKO, MGM, Republic, Columbia, Monogram, and Fox. To say nothing of Eagle Line and Nassau Studios.
You idiot. Universal military training is designed to put more young men in the Army.
I hope if they put me in the Army, they'll give me back my old job.
What's that?
Deserter.
You were a deserter in the Army?
Oh, I was just kidding, Abbott. I was one of the bravest guys in the Army. In all the battles, I was right where the bullets were the thickest.
Where was that?
Underneath the ammunition truck.
That's what I thought.
I just threw that in. I should have thrown it out.
I think you should have.
Mr. Costello. Say, would you like to go out on a double date with me tonight?
Who are the girls?
Well, there are a couple of hula dancers from Salt Lake City.
They got hula dancers in Salt Lake City?
Yes, with all that salt, they've got to have a few shakers.
How do you like that? He forgot to tell me where to meet him.
Look, why don't you get girls off your mind? Costello, the only thing that'll cure you is marriage. I was like you until I got my wife on a string.
On a string? You should have had her on a leash. I don't want to get married anyway, Abbott. Married life is like driving the wrong way on a one-way street.
Why?
Everybody starts yelling at you when it's too late to back out. Anyway, I'm too young to get married. I'm only 21, and I don't know my own mind.
You don't know your own age either.
Just a minute, please.
Don't know his own age?
Show me in the script where it says that.
It's not. All right, it's not in there.
Show me where it says that.
It's not in there, that's all.
Wait till I get back.
All right.
I'm here. Now
All
go
right,
ahead.
I just made it up. So what? You know, I like to get off a good joke, too.
You better get off that one before it hatches.
Hey, that's pretty good. We keep this up, I can throw my script away.
You're reading a script?
I understand that Betty Grable asked you for a date last night.
Yes, but I turned it down.
Why?
She's no Hedy Lamarr, you know.
Then why don't you go out with Hedy Lamarr?
She's no Lana Turner.
Then why don't you go out with Lana Turner?
She's no Betty Grable.
Wait a minute, Costello. We're right back where we started.
I know, but look where we've been.
Look, why don't you quit chasing girls and propose to Susan Miller?
I did, Abbott. I took her for a ride last night, and I asked her to marry me.
Did she answer you in the affirmative?
No, she answered me in the car.
Look, you dummy, when you proposed, you had hopes. Did her answer coincide with that hope?
Why should she coincide with hope? She was sitting outside in the car with me.
Look, listen, Costello, please.
Let Hope get his own girl.
All right, listen, please. I'm only trying to find out
How
the
about the girls we had last night, you and I?
Oh, let's not talk about that.
You got no kick coming.
I'm not kicking.
You had the best looking one.
All right.
Yours had teeth.
All right. Yours had teeth, too.
Did you see that tooth?
Yeah, I saw that tooth.
Mine had so much bridge work every time I kissed her, I had to pay toll.
All right, let it go. Look, I'm only trying to find out the result of your proposal.
I'm always trying to find my place again.
I'm trying to find out the result. Now, wait a minute. You say you asked Susan to marry.
Right.
All right. All right.
That's the line I was looking for.
That was a tough line to find.
Right.
Right. Listen, I'm trying to find out how you proposed. Were you poetic?
Poetic. Yeah, I was poetic.
You were?
I wrote her a beautiful poem.
That's swell.
Goes like this. To Susan Miller. Susan, our marriage would be so dandy, as sweet as a 5-pound box of candy. I'll be your pop, and you'd be my lolly, just like Fibber McGee and Molly.
Oh, boys.
Well, look, Costello, it's Susan Miller.
Susan, you look wonderful tonight. In parentheses, sniffs. Do I smell Christmas night?
I don't know, Costello. I've never been out with you on Christmas night.
I'm out with him every night.
That's wonderful perfume you have on, Abbott. What is that?
This here?
Yes.
Oh, Chanel, $10 a bottle.
$10 a bottle,
Yes.
Chanel. Get a load of this.
What is that?
Ketchup, 10 cents a bottle.
Susan, that's a lovely dress you're wearing.
Thank you. I knitted it myself.
It certainly clings, doesn't it?
Yes, it looks like it's afraid to let go. Susan, if you want to lend me $10, I'll take you out tonight.
Costello, I never lend money. Lending money breaks friendships. Money is the root of all evil, and you should never let money stand in the way of a friendship. Now, which would you rather have, the money or my friendship?
Could you let me have it in small bills?
Shame on you, trying to borrow money from Susan. Here, I'll give you $10. Now, where are you going to take Susan?
There's some high-class spot where we can rumba.
Costello, do you know how to rumba?
Oh, sure. Just get out on the floor and make out like you got a broken crankshaft. How about it, Susan? Is it a date?
Oh, I'm not going out with you on borrowed money. Get some money of your own. Why don't you get a job?
Well, I had a job as a grease monkey, but I quit.
Why?
I found out you can't make no money greasing monkeys. They're slippery little sons of guns.
Costello, why don't you sell your invention? You can make some money that way.
Costello, you have an invention?
Oh, sure, good one, too. I invented a new safety match. No matter what you do to it, you can't strike it. It won't light and it won't burn.
Well, what's a match like that good for?
It's for people that don't smoke.
Say, Costello, why don't you take Susan down to the beach? That won't cost you any money.
No? No money at all, huh? Well, nothing doing. I was down on the beach last Sunday. I fell asleep on the sand, and brother, did I get sunburned.
Were you really sunburned?
Susan, I was so red when I woke up, a lobster was trying to drag me under the boardwalk.
You a sissy. Why don't you take Susan to the beach?
Nothing doing. Every time I go to the beach, I get hurt. The last time I went in swimming, a crab bit one of my toes off.
Which one?
How do I know? Those crabs all look alike to me.
You idiot. Why don't you take Susan to the beach and stop all this follow-your-all?
Oh, it's no use, Bud. Costello isn't my type. The man I want must be romantic. He must see me as a drifting boat without a sail on the storm-tossed sea of life. And he must pilot me into the harbor of matrimony.
You don't want a man. You want the Coast Guard.
I'm sorry, Costello, but the kind of man I could go for is the outdoor type. The type you see down at the beach. That's the guy that rings the bell for me.
I knew it, Abbott. She's in love with a good humor man.
Costello, I'm speaking of the lifeguard. Goodbye.
Well, Costello, it looks like the only way you can win Susan is to become a lifeguard.
I'll do it, Abbott. I can see myself now plunging into the sea, dragging beautiful, beautiful damsels out of the water to safety. I'll be the Lochinvar of Long Beach, the pride of Pismo, the octopus of Ocean Park.
Now you're talking.
There's only one thing that might hold me back.
What's that?
I can't swim.
Oh!
And as the plot thickens, we'll ring down the curtain on the nonsense just long enough to bring you this message.
Boys, let's go. Here's the second act. Curtain going up.
Hey, Costello, here's Susan Miller and Matthew Malnick's orchestra.
Yes, and here's a good place to use them. Here they are, folks, the musical talent of the Abbott and Costello Show.
This can't be love because I feel so well. No sobs, no sorrows, no sighs. This can't be love, I get no dizzy spell. My head is not in the skies. My heart does not stand still, just hear it beat. This is too sweet to be love. This can't be love because I feel so well. But still I love to look in your eyes. My heart does not stand still, just hear it beat. This is too sweet to be love. This can't be love because I feel so well. But still I love to look. Oh, yes, I love to look. I love to look in your eyes.
Costello, I've got some good news for you. My sister Olive is going to let you use her swimming pool so you can learn how to swim and become a lifeguard. Who knows? You may turn out to be one of the greatest swimmers in the country.
Yeah, Abbott. I'll be the next thing to Esther Williams.
You dummy, Esther Williams is a girl. You mean you'll be next to Johnny Weissmuller?
You get next to who you like, and I'll get next to who I like.
All right, never mind. Let's go in this store. I'm going to buy you a bathing suit.
Hey, Abbott, they got nice things in the store. There's a red bathing suit that would fit me.
That's not a bathing suit. That's a suit of long underwear.
Oh, shucks, and I was figuring on carrying my water wings in that big back pocket.
Stop it, Costello. Oh, clerk. My friend Costello here would like to get a bathing suit. What would you suggest?
Well, with his shape, I'd recommend a pair of trunks.
Trunks?
Yes. They're the only things that accommodate the excess baggage you're carrying.
Now, listen, I don't have to come into the store and get myself insulted. I can stay home and read my fan mail, you know.
Oh, come on, Costello. Take off your shirt and coat and let the man measure you.
Okay. There.
My. I see you have some girls' pictures tattooed on your chest. Who are they?
Well, three old sweethearts of mine, Sally, Irene, and Mary.
I only see Irene and Mary.
I wonder what's become of Sally.
Clay, come on. Will you quit stalling around? Measure Costello. He's in a hurry. He wants to learn to swim so he can get a job at the beach.
Lifesaver?
No, thanks. I never eat between meals.
What kind of lifesavers I'm talking about? Save lives.
That must be the new flavor. Sulfanilamide. We have a seal out there.
Now listen, Fatso. When I said, do you want to be a lifesaver, I didn't mean a lifesaver like the kind of lifesaver you buy when you buy lifesavers. I'm talking about the kind of lifesaver that saves lives. And that has nothing to do with the kind of lifesavers you buy when you buy lifesavers.
Oh, you mean you're talking about the kind of lifesavers that you buy when you buy lifesavers. They have nothing to do with the kind of lifesavers that save lives and not like the lifesavers you buy when you buy lifesavers.
Now you've got it.
If I've got it, you better drop a net over it before it gets away.
Come on, Costello. Buy the bathing suit and let's get out of here.
Hello, Brother Bud. I see you brought one of those blown-up rubber knife rafts. Oh! Oh, pardon me, that's Costello.
Olive, Costello's ready for you to teach him to swim.
Well, Costello, I'm all ready for the pool. I put on this new bathing suit just for you. It's backless and strapless. How do I look?
Skinless and boneless.
Olive, you look wonderful since you came out here to California.
Ah, yes, this California weather is wonderful. You know, I've got California under my skin.
Looks like a part of Texas crept under there, too.
Well, Costello, let's get on with your swimming lesson. Do you know anything about diving?
No, but I used to go with a girl that was a pretty good diver. The only trouble with her was that she was so skinny. Every time she made a jackknife dive, she cut herself in 5 places.
I remember her. She was quite a diver.
Oh, yes. Once she dived off a 100-foot board, just like that diving champ.
Buster Crabbe?
Not only that, she flattened the mackerel. Oh, boy. Susan Miller going to be proud of me. I got myself a job as a lifeguard.
That's wonderful, Costello. How did you manage to do it?
They hired me for 3 reasons. First, ability and intelligence. Second, courage and fortitude.
Well?
Courage and fortitude.
Well, what was the third reason?
I was the only guy that applied for the job.
Costello, I don't know how you ever got that job as lifeguard. You know absolutely nothing about the water.
Is that so? One time I swam 5 miles out in the ocean and suddenly I got a cramp and I couldn't move.
How did you get back?
Well, I got dizzy and my head started to swim and it brought my body back to shore. Furthermore, I was in the Navy, but they kicked me out because I like to sleep with the windows open.
Why should they kick you out of the Navy for sleeping with the window open?
I was on a submarine at the time.
You were in the Navy. You told me you didn't know how to swim.
Well, I was only kidding, Abbott.
Yeah.
When I was a little boy, I used to go swimming in a pond near Patterson. And now the city put up a sign on the pond that said, Blue Costello swam here.
Who put up the sign? The Patterson Chamber of Commerce?
No, the Patterson Board of Health.
Do you think you know enough about life-saving to be a lifeguard?
I even learned all the lifeguard signal codes. They signal with whistles, like this.
What does that mean?
That means a child is in trouble. Now listen to this one.
What does that mean?
That means a woman is in trouble.
Are there any more?
Here's another one.
What does that mean?
Man looking for trouble.
Here, I'll give you a practical lifeguard's test. Now, you're a lifeguard. Suddenly you see 4 helpless people out in the surf clinging to an overturned boat. What do?
I sit on the beach and read the funny paper.
Why aren't you out there with those 4 helpless people clinging to that boat?
There's no sense in 5 of us clinging to that boat.
Oh, talk sense. Let's get down to the beach. I want to get a load of you as a lifeguard.
Hey, fat boy. Are you the new lifeguard?
Yes, I'm the new lifeguard. Who are you?
Who am I? Read the letters on my sweatshirt.
S-L-O-B. Hey, Abbott, this guy's a slob.
No, Costello. That's S-L-O-B. That stands for Superintendent, Los Angeles Ocean Beaches. Superintendent, this is Costello.
Well, fine. Fine. Now, Costello, all the lifeguards on this beach use the Australian crawl.
They use the what?
Australian crawl. Did you ever see an Australian crawl?
I was in Australia for 2 years. They walk just like you and me.
One more question, Costello. Suppose you want to find out the condition of the water. What do you do?
Well, if I wanted to find out how the water is, I'd just call a dog.
You mean a dog can tell you how the water is?
Sure, I'll show you. Look, here's the dog over here. Here, doggy. Doggy. Nice doggy. Come here, doggy. Doggy, how is the water? Any more questions?
Costello, I think you'll make a fine lifeguard. Now, all you got to do is pull beautiful girls out of the water when they're in trouble. The job is worth $60 a week.
That's a little more cash than I have on me, but could I pay it in installments?
Well, Costello, let's go down to the beach and see if there is anybody we know.
How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do? How do you do?
Costello, what are you...
How do you do?
What are you doing?
Shaking hands with an octopus. Yeah, but look at that stunning blonde in that black bathing suit.
Costello, if you were a real lifeguard, you wouldn't give that blonde a second look.
You're right. I won't give her a second look.
That's better.
I ain't through with the first look yet.
Look, Costello, there's a girl drowning. Here's a chance for you to be a hero. Quick, swim out and save her.
Okay, Abbott. Here I go. Watch me swim. Abbott, I'm back.
Costello, where's the girl?
Girl, it's your sister Olive. She's out there fighting a shark.
Well, you're the lifeguard. You're supposed to help.
He helped? Why should I help? That shark got himself into that trouble with your sister. Let him fight his way out the best way he can.
Get him out of here!
Keep the house lights down, boys. We'll have a curtain call by Abbott and Costello after a final reminder on this subject.
Costello, as a lifeguard, you're a failure. Let's go home. We've been on the beach all day.
Look, Abbott, we're standing right on the spot where you buried your mother-in-law in the sand last summer.
Well, what about it?
Don't you think it's time you dug her up?
Oh, good night.
Listen each Wednesday night at this time for another great Abbott and Costello show, produced and transcribed in Hollywood by Charles Vanda, and featuring Susan Miller and Matty Malnick and his orchestra. So goodbye until this same time next Wednesday. Be sure to stay tuned for the outstanding entertainment which follows throughout the evening on this ABC station.
76 years ago, July 28, 1948, Bud Abbott and Lou Costello here on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox. Superman is next. After I remind you tomorrow, we'll have Nick Carter, Master Detective from 1945, starring Lon Clark. We will also have I Was a Communist for the FBI, starring Dana Andrews, and The Line is Busy. And then Western Adventure with Raymond Burr, starring as Captain Lee Quince in Fort Laramie, and William Conrad in Gunsmoke, along with another episode of Claudia. But right now, we'll head to see what's going on with Superman.
Will you take the step?
Hi, Dad. You want some help washing the car?
What? Well, sure. Tom, you want something?
Nothing, Pop. Mind if I put some civil defense stickers in here?
Stickers? What for?
Oh, see, Pop? Put them on the radio dial at 640 and 1240. That's Conrad.
4 wheels to survival. That's your car in a civil defense emergency. It will help you move away from danger.
If it's in good mechanical condition. Tires properly inflated, battery in tip-top shape, and your gas tank more than half full.
Mark your car radio at 640 and 1240 for official information.
Another sticker at the half-full mark will help remind you to keep plenty of gasoline in the tank.
Know the 6 steps to survival. Make this year your family's year for civil defense. You take the first step.
Civil defense, an American tradition.
Now on Classic Radio Theater with Wyatt Cox, another episode in the new adventure of Superman from 83 years ago, July 28, 1941, the story of Dr. Roebling and the Voice Machine.
Presenting the transcription feature, Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman. Yes, it's Superman. Strange visitor from the planet Krypton, who came to Earth with powers and abilities far beyond those of mortal men. Superman, who can leap tall buildings at a single bound, race a speeding bullet to its target, send steel in his bare hands, and who, disguised as Clark Kent, mild-mannered reporter for a great metropolitan newspaper, fights a never-ending battle for truth and justice.
And now to our story. Returning by train from a short but adventurous vacation in the North Woods, Clark Kent and Jimmy Olsen seem to have stumbled on something that smacks of mystery. To begin with, Jimmy became fascinated by the nervous, shifty-eyed behavior of a little gray-haired man seated across the aisle. And when Kent bought an afternoon paper and found the man's picture on the front page, Jimmy's imagination knew no bounds. According to the news story accompanying the picture, the man was Dr. Roebling, inventor of a new and startling communications device. However, when Kent attempted to interview him, he denied his name was Dr. Roebling and hurried into the dining car, leaving behind a piece of crumpled paper bearing a strange message. As the fast express roars into the night, both Jimmy and Kent have their heads bent low over the scrap of paper.
What does it say, Mr. Kent?
It says, "This is your last warning."
What can that possibly mean? Last warning about what?
I don't know, Jimmy. Whoever wrote it certainly wasted no words. This is your last warning. Might mean anything. There's absolutely no way to figure it out.
Maybe we ought to turn it over to the conductor and have him notify the police at the next stop.
You know, if our friend Roebling or Harris or whatever his name is wanted police protection, he would have asked for it a long time ago. Evidently, receiving this note didn't bother him much.
Oh, I don't know about that. You remember I told you he looked like a man who was being shadowed? His eyes kept shifting and he sort of sat hunched up in the seat like he wanted to make himself small.
I think you're imagining most of that, Jimmy.
Oh, no, I'm not. Oh, I happened to notice him. He kept looking over his shoulder and watching everybody who came through the car. He's a suspicious character, all right, believe me.
Jimmy, you've been reading too many detective stories. What do you mean, suspicious character? Poor old man is probably just trying to dodge curiosity seekers. That is, if he's really Dr. Roebling.
Oh, of course he is, Mr. Kent. Look at that picture in the paper. Look at it. Same bald spot on the front of his head, same gray hair and back, and the same thin nose. It can't be anybody else.
Well, you make it sound very convincing, Jimmy.
Let's go into the dining car, huh, Mr. Kent?
Don't tell me you're hungry this early. Oh, I get it. You want to stick close to our mysterious friend.
Well, it's partly that.
All right. But please remember to keep your voice down. We don't want everyone on the train to know that we're snooping into Dr. Roebling's business.
Okay. I'll talk in whispers. Can we go now?
I think so. Jimmy, you haven't touched your chicken.
Oh, yeah. I'll eat it.
Do you know that you've been staring at him constantly for the last 5 minutes?
I'm sorry.
You gotta play detective. Don't make it so obvious.
I wasn't looking at him. I was watching the lady who sat down at his table. She's been talking to him.
Well, you make that sound like a crime. What if she is talking to him? Is that against the law?
No, but it might be a clue to something.
Ah, you know, I'm beginning to feel sorry we ever discovered that picture in the paper. From now on, your every waking moment is going to be concerned with clues and suspicious characters and heaven knows what else.
Oh, you're just making fun of me. But you wait and see. Something's going to happen.
What was that?
Oh, Dr. Roebling keeled over.
You stay here, Jimmy. All right, miss. Don't get excited. I'll lift you back on the chair. There. Now let me have that glass of water.
No, don't give him any water, please.
What?
No, he's my father. This happens quite often, really. He suffers from vertigo, fainting spells.
Oh, I'm sorry.
If you could call the conductor, I'd appreciate it. He'll be much better off in the drawing room. He has some medicine there.
Oh, I'll be glad to help your father to the drawing room, Miss Roebling. There. You just lead the way. I'll carry him.
Thank you so much.
I beg your pardon, sis. Do you mind?
Just stretch him out on the lower berth.
There you are.
I don't know how to thank you for your kindness, Mr.
Kent. Clark Kent. If there's anything else I can do before I leave...
No, thank you. I'll give Dad some of his medicine and he'll be all right. I'm sorry we caused a disturbance in the dining car.
Oh, it was nothing. Well, good night, Miss Roebling.
Mr. Kent, before you go...
Yes?
I'm curious about something. How did you know my name?
Well, that's easy to explain. I knew your father was Dr. Roebling.
You'd met him before?
No, but he was seated opposite me in the club car, and I happened to notice his picture in the afternoon paper.
Oh, I see. That explains it, of course.
Well, good night again.
Good night, Mr. Kent. Thank you.
Hello. Well, still not finished with your meal, Jimmy?
What's vertigo, Mr. Kent?
Huh? Why, it's a form of dizziness that sometimes results in fainting spells.
What does it come from?
I don't know, Jimmy.
Well, I was right, wasn't I, Mr. Kent? He really is Dr. Roebling. And you were making fun of me.
I apologize.
Well, that's all right. And that lady's his daughter, huh?
That young lady, Jimmy. She's very charming.
Gosh, Mr. Kent, you're not falling for her, are you?
Finish your ice cream and stop asking silly questions.
I don't suppose you mentioned that warning message to her, did you?
Of course not.
Are you going to?
Well, I may if I see her in the morning. You all finished?
Uh-huh.
What about your milk?
Oh, I'm too full.
Finish that milk. You begin losing weight on these jaunts around the country, we'll just have to cut them out.
All right, I'll finish it.
Waiter.
Yes?
Check, please.
Yes, I got it right here.
$3.20. All right, here you are.
Thank you, sir. Thank you. Okay, I'm finished. Where are we going now?
Back to the club car for an hour or so and then to bed. We can both use some sleep. Come on. Why don't you read, Jimmy? How about this hunting and fishing magazine?
No, I don't want to read. I'm thinking.
What are you thinking about?
Oh, a lot of things. That newspaper story said Dr. Roebling had invented a communications device, didn't it?
Yes.
I wonder what a communications device could be.
Well, there are just so many methods of communication. Telephone, radio, telegraph. That's about all, except for the signaling methods, flags, and smoke pots.
Well, do you think Dr. Roebling's device has something to do with sending messages?
Possibly.
Well, must be something. He won't even talk about it and tries to pass himself off as someone else.
No, I don't blame him a bit. Undoubtedly, his invention has great military value. I wouldn't be at all surprised if the government has taken it over. A new secret method of communicating over long distances would be a boom to any nation at war. It would eliminate the necessity of having to use code.
Train's slowing down.
Coming into a station, I guess.
Yep. You didn't find out whether Dr. Roebling and his daughter were going to Metropolis, did you, Mr. Kent?
No, Jimmy, no. My bump of curiosity isn't as large as yours. I don't ask people personal questions 5 minutes after meeting them.
Mr. Kent.
Yes?
Could I see that warning message Dr. Roebling dropped?
If I can find it. Yes, here it is.
Oh, thanks. This is your last warning. That's funny.
What's funny about it?
Well, in the first place, it isn't signed. How could Dr. Roebling tell who sent it?
Well, since it isn't signed, we can assume he knew who sent it. As a matter of fact, I was thinking about that message at dinner tonight before Dr. Roebling fainted. It may be very innocent, and we're just getting excited about nothing.
No, sir. No, sir, this note is a threat. Well, look at the way it's printed. Like a kindergarten kid prints.
Now you're blossoming out as a handwriting expert, aren't you?
Oh, gee, I can't say anything without being criticized.
I'm not criticizing you, Jimmy. I just think it's amusing.
Well, you won't think it's so amusing if...
If what?
Oh, never mind.
Now, don't sulk, Jimmy. Where's your sense of humor? For all we know, this message may be very important. The fate of a nation might very well be hanging on it.
Now, there you go, making fun of me again.
Now, you're much too sensitive, Jimmy. Oh, well, maybe we'd better turn in. I'm going to stop by Dr. Roebling's drawing room and see whether he's all right. I may still get that interview.
Can I come along?
Oh, I suppose so. In the next car. Follow me. Careful crossing this platform.
Okay.
Yeah, this is the room.
Maybe they're sleeping.
Oh, Miss Roebling couldn't be. It's only been a half hour since I left her.
No answer.
That's funny.
Here comes the conductor, Mr. Kent.
Good evening. Something I can do for you?
Why, yes, there might be. I can't seem to get any response from the people in this drawing room.
Oh? Friends of yours?
Yes. I don't think they're sleeping, and I'm concerned because one of them, an elderly gentleman, was ill early this evening. Can the door be opened from the outside?
Yes. I carry the only key. We're not supposed to use it except in emergencies.
Well, this is an emergency.
Try knocking again.
It's no use.
What's your friend's name?
Roebling. Dr. Roebling.
Let me check this passenger list. Drawing room C, car 421. What'd you say the name was?
Roebling. R-O-E-B-L-I-N-G.
No party by that name in this drawing room, mister. You sure you got the right car?
Well, of course this is the right car. I was in that room less than a half hour ago.
Now, look here. Drawing room C, car 421. Mr. and Mrs. Jack Smith.
Mr. and Mrs. Jack Smith. That's funny. Something's wrong somewhere.
Has Clark Kent made a mistake in the drawing room? Or is Jimmy Olsen's feeling that Dr. Roebling is a suspicious character thoroughly justified? Who are Mr. and Mrs. Smith? And what has happened to Dr. Roebling and his daughter? Be with us again for the next revealing episode.
Don't forget, tune in again for the next thrilling episode with Superman.
Look, up in the sky.
It's a bird. It's a plane. It's Superman.
This is going to be a strange one from 83 years ago, July 28, 1941, Superman, here on Classic Radio Theater. with Wyatt Cox. Thanks so much for spending part of your Sunday with us. Monday will include Nick Carter, Master Detective, I Was a Communist for the FBI, Fort Laramie, Gunsmoke, and Claudia. And then on Tuesday, we'll have a look at Sunday, July 30th, 1961, with episodes of yours truly, Johnny Dollar, starring Mandel Kramer, an episode of Suspense entitled You Can Die Laughing, also The Saint, starring Vincent Price, and an episode of The Whistler. Wednesday, Crime Club, another episode of The Saint, Dragnet and Jeff Regan Investigator, two different sides, although very similar sides of Jack Webb. And then on Thursday, the Chase and Sanborn Hour. We'll also have an episode of Under Arrest, another episode of Nick Carter, Master Detective, and Superman Returns. Okay, that's what's coming up. Thank you so much for joining us. Visit our webpage if you'd like to support me, classicradio.stream. Greatly appreciated. That's at classicradio.stream. Oh, Friday, we will have comedy coming back with Dean Martin and Jerry Lewis, Fibber McGee and Molly, and then some westerns with Gunsmoke and Have Gun Will Travel, and Claudia Returns. Thanks for being with us here on Classic Radio Theater, the podcast. I'm Wyatt Cox.